half. So when the game started and then a few minutes into the second half, the English scored. I was like, oh, wow, let's see what happens. And then before we knew it, they are lost again. And you know, every time they are going for a competition, there's a song they have that the trophy is coming home.
England.
The trophy is coming home. And they've been singing that song for the last 60 years. That was the last time they won the World Cup. They won in 1966 when they hosted on home soil. And they have been waiting for every trophy to come home. Nothing has come home. Teaspoon cry hasn't come home.
Yesterday, these hero fans, Kwame.
And
one thing I also noticed about Messi is that he's a team player. Comparing that to the match between Norway and was it the same England?
Yes, Norway played England in the previous round. Yeah.
You know, if it was to be somebody, the person would have wanted to score the goal himself. But with him, he decided to at least pass the ball to whoever was available.
Yeah, that's right.
To just score, because at the end of the day, it's
tactical easy.
Yes, it's the team
Coach
that
Papa,
is winning, not one person. But at the end of the day, it was his name that was mentioned.
You know, tactical easy is talking.
Yes, I told KOJ that wherever he went to watch that football, he should stay there. I'm not sure he's coming back. He went to West Hills Mall.
He'll come with his embarrassment this morning. Don't worry. He will come with his embarrassment this morning.
Yesterday, they almost collapsed this building because of one goal that England won.
They didn't know what was coming.
One goal.
They didn't know what was coming. Well, at least we know the teams that will play in this year's final.
Yeah.
It will be... there's always an European team and a South American team. The rest, it's like they just came to say hello.
It was a very super birthday package for me.
Hey!
I really enjoyed myself.
Lizzie?
I even posted on my
super
WhatsApp.
birthday package.
Yes.
We didn't even get teaspoon.
No, I'm talking about the match.
the match.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah.
Also, the match topped it up for you.
Yeah.
It was the icing on the cake.
I thought the mobile phones and the others.
Tell me what phone number.
But Lizzie, you said I like you said.
I didn't say anything. I'm not a large spokesperson.
But me bug abisi
give us vim that allergy said.
Kwame. My bug abi said, oh. So if at the end of the day nobody responds,
at the end of the day,
we say why? Wait. But yesterday I enjoyed the game.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I've always been saying Lionel Messi, my brother.
Brutal.
Or you're permanent. If the account tells you that will be a permanent, the guy. He's a football god.
And he's doing this at 39. Yeah.
39,
Yeah,
he's 39
now. Yeah.
Yehovah.
So maybe, just maybe,
he will
this
do the
might
last
be
World
the
Cup.
last one. Yeah.
Oh no, you should come again.
Oh, but I think he'll be 43. That one, dear.
No, I'll go.
Well, I don't know.
This is Brony.
Yeah.
This is Brony.
And that one to the
and he's
39
playing with his right age. They will come and tell you. At the time they are telling you they are 90, they are something else.
43, dear. Well, it's up to him. I mean, if
I'm told that Roger Miller
played till 42.
Yeah.
What's 42. So I don't know.
You can put him on the bench
and then some 10
play like 20, 50. No, because of his stature. You know, these kind of people, the way they are smallish and all that. Sometimes there's energy.
If he's also personally motivated to go on for that long, because normally by 39,
back there,
especially if they win on Sunday.
I'm wondering where his motivation really would be.
If they win on Sunday, I don't know.
Oh, but Kwame, so far the World Cup, I've really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, we all have. Yeah, it's been.
I have really enjoyed is where all the players come onto the pitch, especially during the
before the game starts.
It used to be that the 11 players only would do the handshake, but this time the entire team. Yeah, it's a new, it's a great idea. It's a great, at least even if you don't have the chance to kick a ball, you have a chance to share pleasantries with the officials of the match and your colleagues from the other side. What I say, it's a beautiful thing. I'm sure that after the final on Sunday, Monday we can do a proper, assessment of some of the drama and all that, because of course as a tournament like this it has not gone on without drama.
There would always be
the Trump drama and the other dramas that have characterized.
And this year
it.
too, the matches have been many. So once the games are many like
104, right?
Yes, and we've played 102 already.
What?
Yeah.
Hey.
You know, some of I can confidently say plus or minus. Maybe I've watched.
Maybe and Africa represented how many teams? 10.
Oh no, at least Morocco made it to the quarterfinal.
They are not African, please.
Morocco made it to at least the quarterfinal. But it's always been like this. It's always a South American team or a European team competing for the final. Or sometimes.
Why are they playing different kind of ball?
No, the thing is, football in their spaces is at a very high level. That's the difference.
Yeah, but Morocco.
The others we are playing.
Morocco is seeking to be a co-host to the
4 years time.
Whatever
2030.
World Cup.
Yes.
So I think they are doing something right. They are getting something right.
They are investing a lot of money.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they should have done better. But I didn't like the match they played with France. I was so disappointed. Like there was nothing motivate. Like I don't know what
pressure.
Pressure.
So Kwame, back to Ronaldo. Yeah, the place he has gone to is round 16. Have they ever gone to quarterfinal?
At the World Cup.
Portugal.
At the World Cup, Portugal. Ooh, okay, let me try and recap. 2006, no. 2010, no. 2014, no. 2018, no. 2018, they lost to Uruguay. I recall they lost that game 2-1. 2022 in Qatar, no.
India.
Yeah. The World Cup is always a difficult ask, and especially when you don't have a good draw. Yeah. And there's one thing that came up with respect to Argentina. I mean, they were drawn up in their group. They had Algeria, Jordan, and Austria. AFA. Then in round of 16, they were paired up against Cabo Verde. AFA. In round of 32, it was Cabo Verde. In round of 16, it was Egypt. Then at the quarterfinal stage, who did they even play before England?
Is it not is it not Norway?
No, England played Norway.
England rather played Norway.
Yeah. So Argentina, to be fair, have had a relatively easier route, but it's not their fault. They don't decide who they play. It's a draw.
Was it that easy? Look at the game they played with
the other teams.
Cabo Verde or for.
Yeah, it was a tough one.
And the Egyptians like this.
The Egyptian
typical of the African.
Yeah.
That game.
And then they played Switzerland. That was the quarterfinal
that was
stage.
Even
yeah.
That game was a game.
They suffered though, but for the red card, anything could have happened.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a very tough game. So comparatively, and that's again, it's no fault of theirs that they have been drawn in that side. Comparatively, compared to, let's say, the teams that the likes of France, England and co have played, they appear to have had it relatively easy when it comes to the rankings of the teams that they have played. I mean, if you get a draw that has Algeria, Jordan, and Austria for starters, and you are playing Cabo Verde, you are playing Egypt, and you are playing Switzerland, that should be manageable on any day with the quality they have in their team. So yesterday there were many who thought that was going to be the end, because you when you have it easier all the way to a certain point. So when England scored first, there were not many who gave Argentina a chance of coming back.
I had a feeling that Argentina was going to come back because I like the demeanor of their coach. Very calm.
Yeah.
But Bakui. That's what to do.
Yeah. Every coach is different. Some are very calm, they don't say much. Some are also very
60-something minutes you score against a team like Argentina. Then you start bringing the defenders onto the pitch to come and do what? And I've been monitoring the English press and Charlie. But
I mean, it is what it is.
I think that the guy lost the game from the bench.
He didn't commit a crime. A lot of teams would do that anyway. It's just that when you are playing against a very good team like Argentina and you score, they scored before the 60th minute.
Yes.
So that's like another 30 minutes. If you're going to be defending, if you scored, let's say, around the 75th minute there, and you're going to use the last 15 minutes to defend, okay. But 30 minutes to defend, at some point you would crumble.
Yes.
And he was sparking the defense. What that meant was that if they even had possession of the ball, they didn't have a lot of offensive players. Yes. So when they have the ball, they don't even seem to
yes,
know what
because
to
at
do
the
with
point
it.
in time, you realize he was playing. The strategy was 5-4-1. Even with the 5-4-1, one o'clock there,
No. Because the ball
so they
would not
had
get
all
there.
come.
Yeah. So the ball was literally
The ball
in
was
their
on
house.
them. I knew that definitely.
So at some point, it was only a matter
the
of
keeper
time.
was even. I mean, what's his name? Pickford, eh?
Yeah, Jordan Pickford.
He did a lot of saves. It would have been crazy.
Honestly, when we hit the 90th minute, I thought the game was going to go into extra time.
Everybody thought so.
And then out of nowhere, they scored again. Yeah.
Courtesy Lionel Messi's cross.
Yeah.
He assisted brilliantly again.
So Ciro has never led Portugal to even quarterfinal.
Yeah, NC.
Oh, good morning, editor.
NC.
Ronaldo and Messi fans. I'm sure in another 50 years they will be still having this conversation. Anyway, let's get into our papers. What do we have this morning? Let me start with you.
Kwame, I have the daily graphic. So Achimota Forest regains original status. Yeah, full stories on page 13. Motorists raise concerns over Accra motorway. Tema motorway projects in the majority-minority clash over governor's appearance before the House. Then cabinet approves mining law overhaul. Lands ministry touts gains across sectors. It has the picture of Emmanuel Kofi Amabua here, who is the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. Come that's all.
Doc, what do you have?
Yeah, Kwame, I have the Overseer newspaper here. Credibility and fairness is their tagline. The front page of the paper. Gold board honest NACOC with 12.65 million Ghana cedis for landmark gold seizure. That's why it's on page 3. Cabinet restores full reserve status to Achimota Forest. That's why it's on page 4 of the paper. Naib
the same forest that was whaled.
Yeah, that one that was whaled by the late
so it has been unwhaled.
Of course. When Nanidia. Yeah. What's that? In your brew. Naib VCTF signed MOU to support Ghanaian entrepreneurs with 100 million Ghana cedis fund. That's also a story on the front page of the paper. Miracles Abuaji says he's out unbroken after Yoko detention vows to lead MPP communication director. That's why it's on page 2 of the paper. Again, Kwame, page 4 of the paper. BOG warns public of currency notes misuse. And then MPP announced constituency executive elections in 3 constituencies over alleged violations. Kwame, that's it.
Okay, let me quickly do a few more and then we'll get into the stories. So let me start with the Daily Guide newspaper. The Daily Guide newspaper is reporting on its front page, minority boycotts BOG briefing over media ban. There's a photo here of the Honorable Kojo Oponkruma addressing the press. Government to earn 550 million from KGL in 2027. Miracles Abuaja speaks. You could never quiz me on 55 million stolen cash. The full story is on page 3. And 2 Energy Commission staff caged. Over 208 million meth shipments. NPP announced election in 3 constituencies in the Ashanti region. And also on the front page, ex-NAFCO boss fights AG over UK travel. To the front page of the Chronicle newspaper, 112 pump action guns seized in anti-Galamsey crackdown. Just one month. There's a photo here of the minister, the Honorable Ama Kofi Boa. Local rubber processors reject monopoly claims. And chief challenges claims of the Nchirahene Queen Mother over Nyinausu lands in court. On the front page of the Daily Democrat newspaper, Cocoa Board clears 162 million cocoa bills debts. Gold Board, Ghana Water signs 8.4 million rehabilitation deal. And Cabinet endorses landmark overhaul of mining laws. The full story is on page 237 and 10. To the front page of the National Enquirer newspaper, global jobs beckon Ghanaian youth, according to Youth Minister George William Opariado. Also on the front page, presidential envoy donates 100,000 Ghana cedi to dialysis care, and that envoy is Elvis Efri Ankra. ECOWAS Kenya study NPA best practices. So they visited the NPA office some time ago. And responsible mining gains momentum, according to Lands Minister at his presser yesterday. On the front page of the Daily Searchlight newspaper, NPP nullifies constituency elections in 3 constituencies. And here 4 dictatorship, minority walks out. End of 5G monopoly. That's a question being asked on the front page of the paper. And Argentina set up monumental World Cup final against Spain after comeback win over England. And stop playing to the media. Ayaga cautions the minority. On the front page of the Business Analyst newspaper, license revocation. ZP pledges transparent engagement with BOG. NDC Central Regional Chairman, KOG's chairman, has apologized for the Wahala at Obap Tampa Radio. Go and say no more. GJA President accepts apology of Central NDC Chairman. And Cabinet okays 20-year limits for mining leases also here. Let me go to the Overseer newspaper. Gold Board honors NACOC with 12.65 million for landmark gold seizure. Also on the front page, Miracles Abuaji says he's out, unbroken, after Yoko detention. Vows to lead MPP Communications Directorate. Cabinet restores full reserve status to Achimota Forests. Emphasis on full. I thought it had been willed, but we'll see. Let me do just a few more. The Hawk has on its front page the award that silenced the champion. GJA Press Freedom Award winner under fire for defending editor's jail term. Also on the front page, you have Afoko declares war on MPP divisions, and Gold Board revives 3 Galamsey hair treatment plants. 2, the Business and Financial Times move from access to impacts. Second Deputy Governor of Bank of Ghana tells Africa's financial leaders informal cross-border trade hits 31 billion Ghana cedi, and Cabinet approves sweeping mining laws. So these are the stories on the front pages of the newspapers here in Ghana. Let me quickly do the Class FM online portal and look at what's there. So copying Ghana card for transactions now illegal. Hey, as NIA makes biometric verification mandatory. I see. Power outages, erratic water supply, and road safety concerns remain major consumer issues here in Ghana. Alhaji Saidu Agongo is captured here. Hey, Alhaji is in dark shades. I've never seen him wear shades before, but Alhaji is in dark shades. I think that was when he did. Yeah, when he did a donation. That's what I'm saying. I've never seen him in dark shades before. And so he donated bags of rice, oil, tin tomatoes, and I think some other stuff. We are still waiting for doctor's iPhone 25 to wrap it all up. EI 144 revocation. Government moves to restore Achimota forest lands is also here. And please arrest 54 suspects and seize large quantities of suspected narcotics in Kumasi operations. Jurisdiction battle leaves Joabin roads. Lands exposed to Galamsey destruction. Now they do it openly. They don't give a damn. There are other stories in the world of showbiz, business. A couple of features in here as well. Make your way to the Class FM online portal and read. Let me wrap up with a High Street Journal. 37 years ago, narrowing ratios, widening gaps. There's a brilliant write-up here. Galamsey is wiping out cocoa board's investment in cocoa farms, threatening future harvests. Yet the minister says it's going well. Hey, who? Government targets massive investment through sweeping land reforms. They are also here. And despite powering financial inclusion, growing Momo scale raises financial stability threats. Yeah, there are many who say they barely go to the bank these days. There's a full write-up on Galamsey wiping out cocoa board's investments. There are stories in tourism, there are stories in business, stories in innovation. Quite a number of opinions in here as well. Make your way to the High Street Journal and get to read extensively on all of these stories. Okay, let's get into the stories, shall we?
Kwame, before I start with the Achimota forest issue, so there's a story here that I want us to look into. So the Ghana Medical and Dental Council has disclosed that 17 medical practitioners have been reported to have mental health condition, while 12 others are battling substance abuse. During a visit by Parliament Health Committee on Wednesday, July 15, the Registrar of the Council expressed concern over the situation and assured the committee that measures are being implemented to address the challenges and strengthen the resilience of healthcare workforce. So he also explained that the council has also formed a health assessment panel which reviews mental issues referred to it. He acknowledged the seriousness of the situation, noting that a stakeholder conference was held in February 2026 to discuss issues of mental health involving medical practitioners. According to him, at the conference, the consensus was reached for the council to lead the progress and the process of conducting a baseline study on mental health and fitness to practice among healthcare workers in Ghana. He said other issues discussed were the need to deal with healthcare system resilience issues and whether or not there are any workplace arrangement to deal with healthcare workers who are in need of care. So, Kwame, this is a revelation by the Ghana Medical and Dental Council during a visit by the Health Committee in Parliament yesterday, saying that there are 17 medical practitioners who have medical conditions, and 12 are also battling with substance abuse.
Okay, when the doctor has a problem.
And what is that? Mental? Is it mental?
Yeah. And I'm sure there are more that we are not even aware of.
Yeah, but the things that we are happening, I mean, the things happening or we are hearing in recent times concerning some of these medical practitioners. You go to them, their lukewarm attitude, as a better show, as a young show.
The doctor himself or herself is also human and is likely to also have a challenge here and there. He's just like you and me.
I mean, a mental, they are not.
No. Mental health issues, not because they are mentally incapacitated. That was my understanding of what you
But mental health is mental health.
We all, every now and then everybody has an issue. Something may be bothering you. Something may be weighing you down.
Taking weed and stuff.
Oh, not all 17, I'm sure.
I said 12 of them are battling with substance abuse. 12.
Doctor, no, we didn't know what to do.
And I'm saying that there are a lot more that we are not even aware of. So when the Interior Minister comes out to say that a number of people were actually disqualified because of mental health issues, that shouldn't even be an issue in the first place. That shouldn't have been an issue in the first place. At this point, I feel everyone needs to be
I mean, we all have issues, so every now and then we go and check ourselves.
If you have any mental issue.
Yeah, so for example, it's just like you walk into a hospital and KOJ is a doctor and you go and he's doing beer. Meanwhile, he's telling you not to take alcohol. Some of these things, you would, And then
I mean, serious.
There's a guy who went to the hospital and he was asked that, does he drink alcohol? Does he drink alcohol occasionally or regularly?
They always ask those questions these days.
Says, he drinks occasionally, just that the occasion comes regularly. Then realize that the guy has a problem.
If he's invited to a program every day, or every weekend,
he drinks
maybe.
occasionally, just that the occasion comes regularly. But it's a serious issue. I think that there's a month for mental health awareness.
Yeah.
I've forgotten the month. I think the early part of
This is almost every month is for something.
The first half of the year or the second half of the year. But just as we have the prostate month, which is in October, right? And then prostate is in November. Then breast cancer is in October.
There's always these days. There's always something every month.
The breast cancer is in October.
Okay.
Then after the breast cancer, when we check the women's breast, we check the men's testicles.
In May?
The mental health, yes.
Oh, okay. So it's past then.
Yes, it's in May.
Okay.
I know that. So it comes every year. So just like we check our prostate every year, I mean a month for awareness every year. Breast cancer also every year. Mental health. Hardly do we see advocacy from various institutions. Just like we have the let's say Class FM, for instance. We promote breast cancer awareness every month. We promote prostate cancer awareness every year. We don't do the same for mental health in May. So it's very important. I think that the advocacy is low for me. I think that it's about time we check our mental health. Sometimes you can be very, very fine, but because of, like Doc mentioned, societal pressure,
something may be eating you up.
Something may be eating you up. Home,
and because you're a man, you don't want to talk about it. Yeah.
Men don't talk. That's why men die early.
Why do you guys always make it feel like you guys are people with problems?
No. Men have problems, but do not share largely.
They try to manage it. The woman would share.
Women will share out of depression.
Yeah. Or her body language would even tell you something.
Will tell you.
Yeah.
When a woman goes through broken hearts, her body language will tell her she's having a problem. And the moment
are you speaking indirectly to somebody?
The moment you tease her, she'll share all the problems with you. But men are deliberate about the information they put out.
Okay.
When they are going through certain problems, men are very particular about how
it's not everything we share.
Where, who they share their problems with, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I can't see to remember. We are made that we're supposed to soak every pressure and deal with that because we believe that we are leaders of the home. So Kwame, it's very important that for me, I think that we need to intensify the advocacy for mental health. There are a lot of people who are in suit and tie, but are mentally challenged.
Yeah.
Again, our mental health facilities do not also help.
Do we even have?
For instance, you go to Accra Psychiatric Hospital, for instance. It is a place that is supposed to, for lack of better words, rehabilitate you, come back to the society. But unfortunately, it worsens the problem. It is just like our prisons.
It's supposed to be, you see, out there, they give it a very nice name. When you have all of these challenges, you're going for a rehab.
Yeah.
Here, you're going to psychiatric hospital. I can tell you,
if you're abandoned.
If your family member sees you crossing the street on the other side and entering that building, the whole world would get to hear that you have entered that building.
I believe that
you've committed a crime.
Everyone should come on board. Let's intensify the advocacy for mental health. It's very important. One can be fine this morning. By afternoon, the mental status can change.
Sure.
So it's very important that we check our mental health. Very, very, very important. Kwame.
We'll get there. Any other stories quickly, guys?
So the Achimota forest, regains original status. Cabinet has revoked Executive Instrument EI 144 as amended by the EI 234, effectively ensuring that the Achimota forest retain its original status as a forest reserve to provide an ecological safety zone for Accra and its environs. The Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, who announced it at the Government Accountability Series at the Presidency yesterday, described the decision taken on June 24, 2026 as historic and a major victory for environmental protection. EI 144 had removed approximately 361.5 acres from reserves protected area, thereby availing them that area for other purposes, including physical development. The revocation, however, overturns that prospect altogether, reserving the potential to exploit the forest reserve for alternative uses. The minister was presenting an update on the progress made by the ministry and its agencies during the first half of 2026. So Amakofi-Boa also said the ministry had intensified enforcement operations and within the forest reserve across the country, resulting in the arrest of 258 suspects and the mobilization of 6 excavators and seizure of 1,225 pumping machines and 765 some fan machines. So I wanted to get the background to the Achimota forest thing. Okay, so land reclamation in partnership with the private sector, 1,535 acres of degraded lands have been reclaimed and restored in the Ashanti region, the minister disclosed. So Kwame, that is from the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, on the reclamation of Achimota forest and the preservation of it.
Okay, the land has been unwilled.
Of course. Kwame, it makes
the
a lot
last time
of
I
sense.
checked, it was willed.
Yes. Portions were given to Charles.
How did that happen?
Ah,
No, how does somebody get to own a portion of a forest? Because it's not for sale. So how did that happen? Unfortunately, he's gone, so you can't ask him questions. But
it happened.
how did that happen?
And it happened. It happened.
Like somebody wills you a portion of the sea. How?
So in future you feel it. What you want to use it for, you feel it. Or you exactly.
You build a beach resort.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, yesterday I was asking Kabori that we hope that the review process wouldn't be looked at with a political eye. There are people, so to speak, politically, have acquired those lands. Now, government
people have bought some of the lands already.
Oh, Kwame. Government says that they are embarking on a review process. Those who are he used the word, those who are something of documents, land title document or so. He used the word, I've forgotten.
In the forest.
Yeah. People do have it, some do not have. So those who have it, they will listen to them case by case. And I was wondering,
they have land titles to the forest.
Yeah. They'll be listening to them case by case. For those who say they've acquired it, their grandfather, their forefathers acquired it years ago, they'll look at it case by case, whether you can prove it. Then government would say, okay, this amount that you say you bought it, it wasn't supposed to be so. So we are taking it back. I hope and pray that no one will be given the opportunity to take that land. No one should be given the opportunity to take that land. I am yes, that's the reason why yesterday I asked that, is government really sure, is the ministry really sure that the review process they are yet to embark on will be fair?
We'll take the minister by his word.
Of course. I was excited when he talks about the reclamation and everything. The government is taking it back. But politically, like just like we always be saying on the platform, there are so many government lands that people within government have bought. Yet government is saying we are cracking down. They bypass these political figures and go and crack down on the non-political figures. Would that be said same for the Achimota forest?
In the case of Achimota forest, we know where it is. If anyone is encroaching, we can see. All of us, we can see with our two eyes. Interestingly, on almost all the boundaries of the forest, there are routes that people use every day. So it's not like an isolated area where before you realize, then people would have started developing. So if anything starts happening there, everybody will see.
Yeah.
So me at this point, I would only say, okay, let's wait and see. Because if anybody starts doing anything there, all of us will see. These days, people even have their own personal drones that they fly. Every now and then, I'm seeing pictures or drone videos. So if anybody starts doing something there, everybody will see.
But what if the person is not going to build an edifice, but will put some nice chairs in there, make it an event center?
We heard there was going to be... Doc, I don't know if you remember. There was going to be an eco something there.
Yeah,
but it's never happened.
No.
Because what I know is that beyond that eco thing, people go there to pray. I see people going there every day to go and pray. As to who has given them the license, I don't know. But every time I drive past there every day, there's one of the gates around the Forestry Commission office close to the forest. Yeah. And every day the gate is opened, morning, afternoon, evening, night. And you see people going almost every time. Even at dawn, and you see people going there. They have their bases. So little camps in the forest.
Yes.
I am sure somebody has given them an authorization. Yes. I have never entered the forest.
That's the Israel,
even when I schooled there, I never entered
Israel of our day.
I see. When you touch these people, they will say you after.
Hey, Empire, you go on. Catch it. And don't go there.
It has been
Pastor Vanderpool and his people.
They are not, to the best of my knowledge, they have not developed anything there.
No.
Little spaces where you go and you pray. They haven't erected structures or anything. That's what I'm told.
Interestingly, where they are praying to, in fact, their prayers have even de-virginized the what do you call it? The grounds. Yeah. Nothing grows there.
Because they walk.
They would be walking. They've created their own parts in there. So that should. But
so you see
at least there are no physical
everywhere,
structures.
That is what.
Have you been there?
No.
Recent times.
I went to Sunday. Somebody said I should meet. We should meet there
to pray.
No, I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
So when I got there, I said, "Hey, the course was so we are meeting here for prayers and all that." I said, "Hey."
It's been like that
your temple.
since.
It's not like you don't have a temple. You've left your temple.
I think.
Why they go there?
Would disagree with me, but it would stop people from going there to do religious activity.
Hey,
I'm coming.
It's been happening there.
No,
when I was in primary school, in that school, people were praying there.
There's a purpose for that area.
What's the purpose?
But you see, you
are saying that nothing grows there.
Yeah, but the controversy here is that they go for picnics and all that. Churches can also go for picnics, right? But churches
I
pray.
don't know if people go and do picnics.
Yeah,
there.
people go there. People go there for picnics. Yeah, they go there for like they
Go
go and eat and drink. They sit on the lawns and all that.
So I'm sure then they would have carved out some nice areas in the forest for those picnics and stuff.
When you go inside, they have some portions that are very nice. You can sit on the lawns and all that, and then you enjoy the environment and all that.
I don't know what.
So the churches can also do same.
That going to pray in the forest to do the trick, but me since I was in primary school, Matthew 18:20 has worked for me. Where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there am I in the midst of them. That's what I'm saying.
They said
it has worked.
Gathered together
in my name.
Kwame.
So
yes.
If somebody chooses to go to the forest, there's a person's decision.
There is a purpose for which it's called Achimota Forest.
That's the name.
Praying wasn't part of it.
How do you
I
know?
don't know.
And come.
How do you know?
If you want to go to botanical gardens and all that. Look, if you want to protect our greens, people have walked on the greens and now it's like a bare land. Mm-hmm. Nothing grows there, like Doc is saying.
Yeah.
Me, I've not been there to pray before. Mm-hmm. God is everywhere. But I'm saying that if government wants to reclaim all these lands for a purpose-driven agenda for that Achimota forest,
keep it green.
Keep it
Just
green.
leave it like that.
Nobody should go there.
Yeah.
To go and do any. If you want a lawn, go to Legon Botanical Gardens, go to Ebri, go to Achia and go and pray.
Including those who go for the picnics.
Everybody. I don't have anything to add to this.
I
don't have it. So you let's
decide to take them on.
Kwame, they'll say you're Antichrist.
I tell you,
it's not your Antichrist.
for Savannah and his people, they will come and sit down here.
They'll bring you on the cross and come and pray against you.
In fact, they will take you to their church.
Is it that same place where there's a family called Ni Otu or something?
Owu,
who say they own the place?
Yeah.
Who am I?
And this thing has been with us for years. So if today you decide to, if any government or any leader decides to stop everybody from,
you're not going to stop anyone. But once you decide that you're going to redevelop the place, obviously somebody who goes to do something there will be affected. So it's just clever communications. Don't tell them not to come. But just tell people you're going to redevelop the place for ABC, so that people will know that they can't continue coming to do A or B or C there.
Anyway, Kwame,
let's move on.
Yes, so the Overseer newspaper is here, page 4. MPP announced constituency executive elections in 3 constituencies over alleged violations. And then, Kwame, the story has it that these 3 constituencies are Bantama, Efija Setre East, and Adansia Sokwa. Various infractions.
I thought there were even more.
They said 3 for now. The others may be looked into later, especially for Ashanti Achim Central. It's also boiling, and so the National Council said they will look into that matter. And they've summoned the regional executives of the Ashanti region, Ashanti Regional Steering Committee, to appear before the National Steering Committee on the 21st of July 2026 to answer questions. You know, all of these 3 constituencies are also in Ashanti, the Bantama, the Efija Setre East, where our own brother was beaten to pulp.
The FIFA.
Yes, and Adanse Sokwa. They are all in Ashanti region, so the National Steering Committee has invited them to come and answer questions. I mean,
okay.
So we'll see how it goes. But Kwame, once again, I mean, Charlie, I don't know. This one is much ado about nothing. I don't know where it will end, but Kwame, I want to ask, where is our 2 Ghana cedis? The note. When was the last time you saw that note?
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Why?
I don't want the coin.
Would have
But
to speak to.
the last government said you guys were mishandling it. That's why you brought in the coin. the 2 cedi coins.
Then they should also change the 5 cedi.
Even the coins, I hear there are some issues. If you present the 1 peso and 20 pesos,
They don't take it. That one there.
traders say they don't.
Not just the 1 peso. Even the 10.
Why don't they want it?
10 pesos.
Yeah, the 10 pesos and the 20 pesos. They don't
No, I
take
think
Why?
the 20 pesos is acceptable.
No, they don't take it.
But
all the-
20
all the
pesos and
currencies
the 10
are
pesos.
acceptable. They just won't
No,
take it.
it's legal
take it.
tender.
Yeah, they don't
So
take it.
what would be the basis for somebody saying I don't want this one?
I don't understand.
The 1 peso, that is the red one.
Yeah, the
No,
red.
as for that one, I don't
as for that one,
even see it.
yeah,
I only see it when I go to the mall.
Yeah, and then
And
you
then
drop
you
it.
change
Yeah,
and
you
give
drop it in the
Yeah.
gift box or
The
something.
one cedi.
Yeah. No, the one
The
peso.
peso. Yeah.
When you go to banks and
But now they've added the 10 pesos and the 20 pesos.
the 10 pesos and the 20 pesos, they still take it.
They don't do.
Eh.
It's only the 50
I don't
pesos
even
they'll
see
give
it, to be
you.
honest.
If
I
you
don't see
if
it.
You
yeah
only see it at the malls.
yeah. If you give, if let's say if you give the if you are in the transport, the bus, and then you give them meat 20 pesos, 20 pesos here, 20 pesos, 20 pesos, 10 pesos, it's like
He doesn't want to take it.
yeah,
Really?
it will become
And,
war.
and what would be his reason for not wanting to take it?
They don't give any reason. We just fade out things without even knowing that.
For
we
the
do it
5 peso,
intentionally.
I know I've not seen some in a while. But for the 10 pesos and the 20 pesos, people still use it.
But have
So
you
if I'm
seen,
buying pure
have
water
you
and
seen
I
how,
give
for
20 pesos too and 10
For the 20
pesos
I think
for
I even
50
have some
pesos, you won't
in my
take.
purse.
is it common?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, for me,
We have retired.
for when I do my transactions, yes,
It's not
We are
common
retired
in
already,
Ghana.
I guess.
Yeah, it's not common
Yeah,
in Ghana.
maybe I mean
yeah, but
it's-
the 2 cities
they don't like
moves
it.
we
out
can
of
we
the
can follow
system.
this up
Yeah.
and speak to someone about this.
Kwame, you know
I
how
don't see it, to be
Yeah.
honest. I don't
You know
see
how
it.
But Kwame, you don't
we-
do
we-
normal. You do e-transactions. So how would you see it?
Sorry to be upset.
you know how we are able
You want
to
everybody to see
fade
that
out.
if you meet me, I don't have capital.
You know how we are able to fade out some of these monies from the system as a people. So once upon a time, the minimum item you could buy with with the money, it's maybe some 10 pesos, some 20 pesos, and I'm talking about pure water. Immediately it moves from
How
10
much is it?
pesos, 50 pesos.
Okay.
So
They wanted to even bring
now
it to
we are
150.
using the minimum, the 50 pesos. And if it increases from
But if I
50
give you
pesos,
2 20 pesos and 1 10 pesos,
not
it's
take it.
still
the
50
20
pesos.
pesos for some reasons, strange reasons. I also experienced it. There was a
you
time,
don't
there was a time I gave some to a mate,
And he
a
rejected
trustee,
it.
and he told me that he wouldn't take it. I told him that it's still legal tender. So if you're not
And
taking
no, what was his?
no reason,
What was the basis for
no
which
reason,
he said he would?
no reason. No, they will not give you any reason. Nti coins be bring
And-
out
and-
the 20 pesos coins
And
out the man
it's not
they
only
give
the
no reasons.
It's not only the meat sale. Even the traders, they don't take it. They don't take the 20 pesos, the 10 pesos, and they don't take it. It's only if it is 50 pesos, they will take it. But if you are giving them like equivalent of it, 20 pesos, 20 pesos, 10 pesos, they will not.
So you gather them
they
and
will
go and
reject
buy fuel. Maybe that's what I know about our currency. Especially when you have money that is not in good state, go and buy fuel with it. I'm told they'll take it like that.
Kwame,
Anyway,
let me take you to some online stories. The National Identification Authority has announced that it is now an offense for institutions and individuals to photocopy or visually inspect a Ghana card for identity verification during transaction. According to the Executive Secretary of NIA, Wisdom Yara Kuku-Deku, biometric verification of the Ghana card is now mandatory for all transactions that require identity authentication. In a Facebook post on Wednesday, that's yesterday, July 15, Yara Koku said the new requirement follows the coming into force of amendments of the National Identity Register regulations contained in LI 2111, which was laid before Parliament 3 months ago and gazetted on Wednesday. Under the amended regulations, institutions that continue to rely on photocopies or visual inspection of Ghana card for identity verification could face fines of between 500 cedis and 2,000 cedis penalty units. But the penalty one is about 12 cedis, right? It's still 12 cedis. So 12 cedis minus 12 cedis times 500 and 12 cedis times 2,000. That is what institutions will pay. So 500 and 2,000 penalty units upon summary conviction. Individuals who breach the regulations could be liable to fines ranging from 50 to 500 penalty units. Mr. Deku said the sector minister would, in the coming days, brief the public on the implementation of the amended regulations and measures to ensure compliance. He also encouraged organizations seeking access to NIA's identity verification platform to begin the onboard process by contacting authority. Kwame, this is a good one. You don't need to take my Ghana card and photocopy and keep the photocopy.
But this announcement, I mean, my problem is every year, government make this announcement, and so.
So if I go to a place to do a transaction by a Ghana card, like let's say I swipe it somewhere and it's done, they don't need to do a photocopy of my Ghana card and keep it.
They will take it. Either they take it and show it on it, just like you buy something at the mall.
Yeah.
They show it and the price it projects the price on the screen. So I'm sure it's either they take the card and swipe it, or you do that at the counter. This is a good one.
They do the photocopy for all kinds of reasons.
What is the reason for the photocopy?
Or sometimes you are filling a form. They will say
this is digital migration. I am going to the bank. You don't need to. What are you keeping my why are you keeping my Ghana card photocopy document?
When you fill a form, why are they keeping a copy?
No. So now, when you fill the form, they only keep the Ghana card details. You put in the Ghana card number.
Okay.
It verifies you.
If they have a copy, what does it change?
They don't have to have a copy.
Like what will it do?
Front and back.
but I think
if they have it. But what's wrong with this?
The questions are valid because even
we are past that age.
Even when
you go, Kwame, I have been denied access to a service before where they said there's no photocopy machine. They delayed me for hours.
No, you have to go and do the photocopy yourself.
I don't have time to go outside.
You should have gone out to go and do the photocopy.
I don't have time.
You are waiting for the photocopy machine to work.
Yes.
Then you would have stayed there forever.
Yes, I stayed there for a long time. But I don't have time to go and cross the road and go and do photocopy.
Because it looks like here, I don't know whether, and I can't speak for these organizations, why they actually ask for these copies. But it looks like here, almost every major transaction you have to do, there's a photocopy that has to be done somewhere.
Look, we like long process. Fill here, sign here, go here, take here, turn up. Go and use your face to show the camera. What is that?
For verification now.
Now, NIA, fantastic. Yara Koko, kudos to you this morning. No, we are in a digital area. We don't need photocopy. Look,
that's what I'm asking. If you have it, what is wrong with it?
No, we won't have it.
But are we not missing something
the
here?
502,000 is even small.
Are we not missing something here? Is it not just for transactions? Because the statement says transactions.
Anything that requires verification.
No, but it says transactions. That's why I'm saying maybe they should come out and clarify that. Because now...
Yesterday, I heard him clearly that anything that requires verification.
Use a Ghana card.
Yes. You don't need a photocopy. Go to the bank, photocopy. You're going to...
So if you are feeling like you are going to do your WIAC forms, those that have completed school, definitely they will have to, do the photocopy of the Ghana cards.
You don't do photocopy.
So now what should they do?
That's why you need to contact NIA. It says that contact NIA for verification process to go through.
So we have to go to an NIA office.
Yes.
Or they are going to provide some biometric machines at vantage points.
So you either go to NIA, so you have to access their portal and request for the verification portal. Kwame, this is logical.
Don't you think that is a long sentence?
It's not a long sentence.
Because not everybody is.
I don't know whether we're trying to make a very simple thing complicated.
Yeah. Because not everybody. You see,
unless I want to use my photocopy to do something I have no idea about. Because all of these organizations that would ask for a copy, it is for record purposes.
What are you recording?
Documentation now.
No, but documentation. Can't you swipe it and keep that and I'm good to go? What are you keeping it? What are you keeping it for?
But
I have opened an account with you. I am coming to withdraw my own money. I bring my Ghana card, swipe it, and let me go. At the end of the day, it is the money that I want. You don't need to keep. We are keeping records of what? Okay. What is the record the bank is keeping?
That is like when you are filling a form to open the account now.
There's nothing to keep. If I'm filling a form, the verification machine should be in front of me. I swipe my Ghana card.
But in one way or the other, they still will keep the record whether you swipe it or not. They still have the record. But the photocopy, the photocopy is the problem.
Prevent frauds and stuff.
Because elsewhere where you have to use a card for anything, verification is so important. You swipe somewhere, you place a card somewhere, within 2 or 3 seconds, it picks all the details, you move. Maybe the transitioning from the paperwork to these things in our parts may take a bit more time. Maybe.
Yeah. That's why I was asking.
Because this is technological stuff.
Yeah,
and you know.
That's why I was asking.
You don't just
the NIA,
change.
what are they doing? This statement, have they provided the biometric machines advantage points for people to now start swiping and all those things? Because
well, it says that, the minister will in the coming days.
Because if everybody has to go to the portal, definitely there will be a large number of people who will be lost out on this. Some people do not know how to access the internet.
Feeling Adenta sent a very interesting message. Good morning, Kwame. The photocopy of your card sometimes is not even properly kept by the organizations, and other people you may not know would have access to your details to use at other places you may not even know about.
Yeah, so that's a good initiative.
Somebody's photocopy was given to a Brony Kate. It
was
found there. Because when they keep those documents, I'm sure they want to dispose it somewhere.
Yeah.
And then these people, or they sell something, they sell it.
They sell it.
To these people.
They sell the photocopies.
They sell the
papers.
They sell the papers. Right? So let's dispose them. So they sell it to these people. And by the time you realize you are going for your own photocopy. They put and
I think it was someone's results.
So I agree with what.
Okay, guys, let's wrap up. If there are any more stories, let's wrap up quickly.
Yes.
From Goldboard.
Yes, my
Give
brother.
it to my
brother. Kwame, once again, lawyer Sami Jemfi's Gold Board has shown the way.
What have they done again?
Yes. A Gold Board honors NACOC with 12.65 million Ghana cedis
I saw that story
for landmark gold seizure. Yes, and so the story is here. It says the Gold Board has presented 12,645,862.48 cedis 48 pesos to Narcotics Control Commission, representing 50% of the proceeds from the sale of 17 gold bars seized from illicit gold traders in 2025. And so they had to do this because the story says that it's a board directive that anybody that gives a lead to get some of these illegalities in the system, you are entitled to some 10%.
Yeah.
And so the aggregation
to the officers.
Exactly. As a hinty. Please, you have to try and get in touch with our man, the deputy CEO of NACOC.
Lawyer too very much.
Yes.
Oh, it's been a while you visited us.
Yes.
Yeah.
To come and share the experience with us.
Yeah.
We only invited him.
He's in
to
the photo
show.
here.
Yes.
I see him in the photo.
We want to invite him on the show to come and share the experience with us. So Kwame, that is it. Gold Board has honored.
Seized 17 bars.
Charlie.
17 bars
In
of gold.
I can imagine what the value of those bars will be.
Yeah. So the 10% is there. No, so the 20% is the 18, the 12.5.
12.65, yes.
So then the value of that deal is probably crazy.
That's so Kwame, that is it. So if institutions will live up to their promises, I'm sure Krumbejo. So once again, lawyer Sami Jemfi. Yes.
Okay. David Senna says, Kwame, I'm happy about the use of the biometric verification in all transactions. I was also against photocopying our Ghana cards for transactions, as these copies would fall into the wrong hands sometimes. Okay. It looks like people appear to be very much okay with that kind of development. And I've also got this message coming in. You don't add your name. You say it always amuses me that after photocopying of your Ghana card, the bank still insists on taking a fresh photo of you, as if they are making absolutely sure that you are the same person involved. And then you do the
fingerprint as well.
Yeah.
Charlie, that is serious.
You've seen my
so
picture.
You are looking at fingerprints. You do the Ghana card, and then they'll take your photo in addition.
And your ID number too. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, they just probably want to double check and triple check.
But I'm
just to
sitting
be
in
sure.
front of you. You've seen my face.
Oh, no, you have aged. The photo on your Ghana card, Charlie, now you're looking a bit different. They just want to be sure you are the one. Hey, it be money matter, especially for the banks.
Look at the Ghana card, they look at you.
Especially if the picture has defaced a bit, or maybe physically you've also aged quite a bit, or you've changed quite a bit. They just want to be sure. That's how I see it, but I can understand that people have concerns with that, and having my documents with you, the heading, I can understand.
The biometric machine will do. I mean, you just swipe like he said and all that. But like I said, NIA needs to put the measures in place to make it easy for everyone. I mean, maybe now that they are rolling it out, they will be doing all those things.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
but it's a good initiative. That one we all support. At least, I mean, the photocopy is needed.
Once they are change.
Well,
but we are not also looking at that side though. Now that we are going to do this, what would those who are doing the photocopies, what would they be also doing?
People print their CDs, you'll get money.
Well, it's always like that. I mean, one would gain, one would lose. So, Kwame, is very annoying for people to be rejecting the 20 pesos for transactions, especially the market women and pure water sellers. We want to know if the Bank of Ghana have announced that we should not use it again. Okay, I'm not aware of any announcement from Bank of Ghana. It's just a decision by people for whatever reasons. So, me, if I come to you and that is what I have, if you don't take it, I just go away. Oh, this one is not a fight. I won't argue with you about this.
They will not take it.
Unless maybe I have already, the moment, let's say I buy, and before I start, let's say pure water, I start drinking it before I even start paying you, and you say you don't want the money. That is what I have.
It will turn into a fight.
You can't beat me.
So unless maybe you tell the person before you buy.
That is what I have.
Yeah, this is what I have.
It's just like you bought a Trotsky and you are going to circle and it's CCDs and you give them 2,000. What made you do attempts? You don't want to pay. Anyway, that's why we draw the curtains on the newspaper segment of the show. But we're going to be extending that with our letter to His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. Philip Bagbeku, I've seen your question. You say you want to ask if the cocoa farmers have been paid now. Well, one of the newspapers is reporting the payment of 160 million. As to whether that represents, from the last time, the figures that I saw the last time, it was in billions. And I'm seeing one of the papers reporting 162 million being paid. So maybe there are little debts somewhere.
According to people, they say that no cocoa farmer is being owed.
No cocoa farmer in this country is being owed any amount of money.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll check from.
And we need to applaud.
Let's check from Dr. Randy Abbey.
Yes.
Let's check. Yeah.
Wahab, yes. They're doing a great job.
Who's Wahab?
Don't worry. Why do you want to know Wahab?
So let's say good morning to Dr. Randy Abbey.
Exactly.
The Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Cocoa Board. And our very own Wahab.
Exactly.
Who's Wahab?
We pray that he sits well.
Lizzie, let's move on. You don't tell us who he is. Let's move on and speak to His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. Charles has a letter to His Excellency. Let's have a listen.
Dear Mr. President, I wish to commend your government for the bold decision to review Ghana's mining laws, particularly the proposal to reduce the maximum duration of mining leases from 30 years to 20 years. This is a commendable step that demonstrates your administration's commitment to ensuring that Ghana derives greater value from its mineral resources. Reducing the lease period is laudable because it allows the state to periodically reassess the performance of mining companies and ensure that they continue to operate in the best interest of the country. It also provides future governments with the opportunity to review agreements in line with changing economic realities, environmental concerns, technological advancements, and the aspirations of the Ghanaian people. Our mineral resources are finite, and they must be managed in a way that guarantees maximum benefit for both present and future generations. Mr. President, while the reduction in lease duration is a significant reform, I am particularly encouraged by the introduction of mandatory community development agreements between mining companies and their host communities. This, in my view, is one of the most important aspects of the proposed amendments. For decades, many mining communities have watched vast quantities of gold and other minerals leave their lands. Yet the level of development in many of these communities has been nothing to write home about. Poor roads, inadequate schools, limited access to quality healthcare, Unemployment and environmental degradation continue to define the lives of many residents despite the enormous wealth extracted from their communities. The introduction of community development agreements will finally give these communities a voice in determining their own development priorities. Rather than leaving mining companies to decide what they believe communities need, the people themselves will now have the opportunity to negotiate for projects that truly address their most pressing challenges. This is a fair, transparent, and people-centered approach that has the potential to transform mining communities across the country. Mr. President, I respectfully urge your government to ensure that these agreements are not merely signed, but are effectively monitored and strictly enforced. There must be clear accountability mechanisms to guarantee that mining companies fulfill every commitment they make to host communities. Equally important, the community themselves should be empowered to actively participate in monitoring the implementation of these agreements. If properly implemented, these reforms will not only promote responsible mining, but also restore hope to thousands of Ghanaians living in mining communities who have long felt excluded from the wealth beneath their feet. Thank you, Mr. President. Yours faithfully, Class FM.
Over to Your Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. This is Class 91.3 FM. Well, welcome to our editorial this morning. This is A Piece of My Mind, which is a segment of the show where I share my thoughts on a subject or more and give you an opportunity for you to do same. You can reach us via multiple ways. Our WhatsApp number remains the same, 0500,000 202. Alternatively, you can reach us on our socials. We're streaming live on Facebook. Look out for us, Class 913 FM. Or when the phone lines are activated, you can always give us a call. Take note of the calling number 0302 208080 0302 208080. This morning, I want to start on this premise.
One of the key priorities of government is to maximize revenue from forest and wildlife resources. To achieve this, the ministry through the Forestry Commission is improving ecotourism facilities within our national parks and resource reserves. Our focus this year will be on the completion of the 120-seater picnic area and 10-unit chalet at the Shire Hills Resource Reserve. Additionally, 20-room tourist accommodation and restaurant at the Molly Park will be completed. Let me say that this is a huge opportunity for private sector partnership with the Forestry Commission, and our doors are open for those discussions. We want Ghanaians to visit our forest reserve and travel in with families, and we think that we can open that opportunity. Another key achievement is the issuance of forest law enforcement government and trade licenses. We call it FLET licenses. As you may recall, Ghana in August 2025 became the first country in Africa and second only in the world to qualify for the issuance of FLET licenses. Since then, Ghana has issued 600 licenses to 22 destinations in the European Union. At the end of the second quarter of this year, we had issued 411 licenses. The FLET license has enhanced Ghana's credibility in the timber trade internationally, because this FLET license simply says that Ghana's timber is sourced sustainably and from very approved legal sources. And that's what this FLET license does. It's giving Ghana a lot of mileage in that. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very important news in the forestry sector as well. I'm happy to announce a historic cabinet decision taken on the 24th of June 2026 to revoke executive instrument EI 144 as amended by EI 234, effectively ensuring that the Achimota forest retains its original status as a forest reserve and providing ecological safety zone for Accra. The only last man standing forest cover in Accra.
That was Honorable Minister for Lands, Forestry and Mines, the Honorable Amakofi Boisvert, yesterday when he held that presser at Jubilee House. And I'm going to be starting a piece of my mind from where he ended, the bit about Achimota Forest. This is a place I am familiar with very, 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 very well because I schooled in those prisons all of those years ago. My first encounter with that area was in the late 80s when I went to boarding school at Achimota. In those days, the road was not designed like the way you see it today. There was nothing like an N1. The road through the Forestry Commission office before you get to the Achimota police station was not designed this way. It was an old design. Babs will know that place where the DSTV offices, you just do a 10 over there. That design was something like that. And then CP was in the corner over there. There was no 5-lane road. There was no Noga Hill Hotel and all of those buildings that you see by the side of the road there. They were not there. So in those days, one of the things that we used to do, we would just go and walk around. I wouldn't go into the forest because we're kids, we're afraid. We'll just go and walk around, or we will go through the side that today has Achimota Preparatory in the corner there, and then we'll go and catch golf balls, in our quiet days and in quiet moments. Even as a little child, one of the things that I readily recall, especially when it rained and we found our way very close to the forest, one of the things that I remember seeing was that it was a place that collected a lot of water. At that time, of course, as a little kid, I had no idea where the water was coming from. In my mind, the water would come from, the heavens, and the rains would come in, and the water will collect there, and over time, it will just seep into the soil. But growing up and studying geography at the University of Ghana and at the high school level, one of the things that I picked up along the lines was that the place like the Achimota Forest happens to be a hub that would collect a lot of water when it rains. So when we have a lot of places like that, what it does is that even when water collects there, because human settlement is close to zero, or because there is no one there, even when water collects in those areas, at some point it would gradually seep into the soil. And because of the nature of that space, it wouldn't then percolate through to other adjoining communities. So in those days, for those of you who remember, the places around where Fiesta Royale is today, and the places around that stretch, all of those buildings, they were not there. When you were driving around that side and you were heading towards the old the Kwashi motorway, you would see that water was collecting pretty much at the edge, just like that, because it was like a safe haven for all of these rains that came from as far as wherever. Today we have decided to build very close, and we've decided to build all around the Achimota Forest. So if you happen to live very close, when it rains, when the water decides because of its intensity to get out of the forest, then unfortunately you would suffer. In those days there was nothing like Westlands. It didn't exist. The closest you saw was Christian Village, where most of the workers of Achimota School used to live or used to reside. All of those buildings you see in those communities called Hachu and stuff, they were not there. Gimpa was just a small property over there like that. And the Achimota School lands, literally took over a large chunk of the road. All those buildings you see by the roadside, the church, is a fire something. That is all of those, they were not there. It was a clean, nice area. How that property ended up in the will of an individual in this country, it's beyond me. But it happened. And in recent times, I've also been reading that one Owu family also claims to have documentation to that expanse of land. These cases will be sorted out in courts, but it makes it very difficult to understand. In other areas where they are trying to go green, in other areas where they are trying to take advantage of every little land that they have to keep a certain level of serenity, here what we do is that we build everywhere. So there is very little green space in the whole of Accra, very little green space. Anyone who has lived in Accra the last 40 years, the last 50 years, would have seen the dramatic change. There's nothing wrong with the change in itself, but the level of distraction that has gone with the change has become problematic. We used to have a lot of areas where the rains easily collected. If it wasn't just the area around the Achimota Forest, for those of you who are familiar with the new Achimota side, all the way to Tabura, Dodua, Tabura, Sotum, and Sieku, Kwashima and Santa Maria, all of those places, it was just a few people who used to live there, because a large size of those areas were farmlands. If you look at the Achimota motorway, either side of the road, today, look at the way people are built there. There used to be farmlands. Eben will tell you. I'm sure he's my age group, so he's always talking about it. There used to be farmlands where people used to farm the cabbage, the lettuce, those things. And there are a lot of communities like that. Today, they've been taken over by Trasaco and all of those communities over there. They didn't exist 30 years ago. They didn't. They were good farmlands where we got fresh farm produce. Today, we are buying food and keeping it in the fridge for 10 years. So me yesterday, when I heard the minister say this, I was very excited about it. We can literally destroy all our greens. We can't literally do that. And I remember the back and forth that I had on this platform with Awula Sewa, who was campaigning very strongly on this. Now we have heard this good news. I really hope and pray that nothing will change going forward. Achimota Forest, let it stay the way it is. There were conversations in the past to turn it into an echo, a D&D and whatever. Let it stay the way it is. The serenity is okay. The green is okay. Beautiful surroundings. Everything is fine. Let's not, use the land for whatever. Let's keep it like that. And I just hope we keep it like that. But at that same press conference, the minister also made a few revelations, startling revelations, that surprised me. For all that has been done to supposedly fight Galamsey, we are still arresting a lot of people. We are still seizing a lot of guns. The question I keep asking myself is, who are we fighting? And who is also ensuring that people end up in these same places? The other day I saw a video of people at Chebi, and the MP was telling us a lot of garbage about people over there and what they were doing, and why he was angry at the security officers taking on the young guys at, what's the name of the place? The Zongo in that particular community. We are spending a lot of money. In the last 24 hours, we've been discussing the support that is coming in from an organization like Gold Board to help with our water bodies, because we discussed Agona Kwenyaku here. We are pumping a lot of money to deal with the same Galamsey threats, yet people are still finding a way to go about this Galamsey. It is very easy to literally discard this conversation on Galamsey when you have not been to some of these areas before to see the level of destruction that is being caused there. Accra is not Ghana. Some of us, we literally live here and we don't go anywhere. So when we see some of these things on social media or when we see photos of it, sometimes you are even tempted to think that these are exaggerated or these are AI generated. It is not. It is real. Go to a lot of places in the eastern region. In my region, the Ashanti region. Come down south to Obuasi, going down all the way to Dunkanofing, that stretch. Go to Western North today, greater parts of Western North, the northern side of Western region. It is still happening live and colored. Let's not sit here and tickle ourselves and laugh. It is still happening live and colored. The Galamsey is ongoing very, 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 very strongly. I get the fact that the minister and his team, NIMOS and all of these organizations are doing their best to deal with the challenge. But when we are still arresting such numbers, when we are still seizing such, what do we call it, Shamfire machines and all of these trucks that do these activities, then you're asking yourself, how have these gotten there? Because elsewhere, when they are embarking on a tangent like this, you wouldn't hear this level of arrest. So, for example, if we are arresting 2,000 people before, and with all the efforts that we are putting in, we are still arresting close to that number, it's either we are not doing something right, or some people are going behind all of these exercises by NIMOS and the ministry and whoever, and still encouraging people to get in there. Because it is a platform where people are making ridiculous amounts of money. If you're able to land some gold, you're gone. So we make all the noise here. We put in all the mechanisms. We have all the great ideas on paper. But every now and then the minister is speaking to us. The minister is telling us thousands of people have been arrested. Shamfar machines have been seized. Guns have been seized. People have been arrested. The excavators are still there. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Are we making progress, or we are just where we are? Yes, some forests have been reclaimed. But with the kind of efforts that we're putting in the last 1.5 years, don't you think that we should have been reclaiming a lot more than we have? The minister cannot be everywhere. I remember in the early days when he was given the job, I called him Minister of Lamentations because he was always lamenting. But between that time and now, I've seen a lot of things that he's put on paper. I've seen a lot of plans and ideas that he have when it comes to implementation. But Mr. Minister, when you go on the grounds, that is why you are still arresting people. That is why the Shamfire machines are there. I don't know the level of support you are getting at the local level. So, for example, if I go to an area around Amenfi, Western North, Bodi, Drabosu area, I don't know how crack your team is on the ground. If I go to the eastern region, just here, areas around the Ibuakwa North, areas around the Ibuakwa South, areas around Usino and all of those communities, I don't know how strong your team on the ground is because it is there live and colored. In the case of that area, you pass there and go through Kumasi and go to Kumasi. So when you are traveling there, especially in the night, you hear all the noise coming from the bush. The brim is there. My friends from that area used to tell me that that water used to have this very nice, conversation around it. Achenkwana na minum brimu. Today they will tell you Achenkwana na minum pure water. Because you can see the water. It's like cocoa drink. I doubt whether anybody drinks that. So if we are sinking all of this money and we are putting all of this effort and we are still seeing what we are seeing and we are still getting what we are getting, then something is amiss. Something is seriously amiss. Maybe, just maybe, we put in the men in green, and we've pushed for this over the last 2 years because we've been discussing Galamsey on this platform since 2023, especially when it got to crazy levels. I don't know whether NIMOS is strong or not strong enough. I don't know about the other teams at the regional level, whether they are strong or not strong enough. Or I don't know whether powerful people are still colluding with whoever and ensuring that whatever government puts in place, somebody is one step ahead. Maybe that is it. Maybe someone is always one step ahead. And one of the funny things that we hear is that when NIMOS and their team are supposed to go on an operation or an inspection in a particular area, people are tipped off. So sometimes you go there, you won't see anybody there. If you are lucky, you go and see one champagne machine or you go and see one excavator over there. By the time you are out of the forest, they are back. Because if that is not happening, how do you go there and seize all of these guns? How do you go there and seize all of these champagne machines? How do you go there and seize all of these excavators? Excavators are not like a stone you put in your pockets. They are huge trucks. And when they are moving, people will see them. You can't drop an excavator from the sky. So they use the same roads you and I use. So when they are moving there, people see them. Unless somebody wants to tell me that they are assembled in the bush. They are not built from where we live, and somebody takes all the parts and go and assemble them in the bush. So we didn't get to see what is happening there. But we know that is not the case either. So people are conniving with people. And that says a lot about us as a people. And that says a lot about leadership. For us, we don't seem to value human life. We don't seem to care. We don't seem to worry about the level of destruction that this Galamsey is doing to us. On the health front, just because a few greedy people want to make money. Nobody seems to care. And maybe, just maybe, whatever leadership is doing is also not enough. Because if you really want to deal with the problem, we know what to do. But here, because there are so many interest groups, including what we hear every now and then, this is where we'll continue to be. We'll throw money at the problem. We'll keep on throwing money at the problem. We'll throw money at the problem, throw money at the problem. But not much significance would happen. The progress or the level of progress we'll see is so little. And it's most unfortunate. It's most unfortunate. Sometimes people just get tired discussing these things. And every now and then I get calls from some of you asking me why I don't get tired. Well, this is my job. My job is to educate, inform, and to entertain. And that's my motivation for coming to sit here every morning. The day I get tired, then I quit. Because then when I come here, I can't continue on that tangent. So the motivation is gone. And once the motivation is gone, I just quit. How I wish we could be doing a lot more than we are doing at the moment. Maybe, just maybe, only time will tell. Well, the phone lines have been activated. You can give me a call on 0302208080, 0302208080, or send me a message on WhatsApp on 0500,202, 0500,202. Give me a call on 0302208080, or send me a message on 0500,202. I'll be very happy to hear from you. Or you can reach us on our social media handles as well. We're streaming live on Facebook. Give us a comment, give us a like, give us a share, or give us a watch. The phone lines again is 0302208080, 0302208080. I'll be very happy to hear from you on the issues that we're discussing this morning. Eben from Kobenya says, so does it mean that every time there's a change of government, Ghanaians need to join long queues for SIM card registrations? Why are all these disturbances? I pray these registrations end with the current administration. And you say greetings to the Honorable Julius Debra, and there's a long list of people you've mentioned in there as well. This one is coming from Masawood in Kumasi, Bantama. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Please, I'm Ruth and I'm calling from Adenta Sakura.
Ruth, go ahead.
Concerning the Galamsey issue, I think the people of the leadership are doing their best, but it is us now, the people, that we are doing. Because if today, tomorrow, they go and seize those machines they are using, and then others, even in the community themselves, are supporting and helping those people who are degrading the environment, they still continue doing the same thing. And the people trying their best to control the issue are just doing a waste of work. I think it is us now, the people. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, Ruthie, for calling 0302208080. You can also call us and share those strong thoughts with us. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Bro Kwame.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Yima, calling from Amomole.
Yima, go ahead.
Yes, yesterday I said something about our institutions. I really just, I can't get it. Bro Kwame, you said it all. So what is left for me to say? I mean, look at the way you talk with passion. Your analysis, the way, I'm astonished. This Galamsey issue, my brother, is it because those at the helm of affairs are just conniving with those who are involved? You made mention of, look at excavators, the nature of it, pumping machines, chamfines. Are they something like, look at the structure of such machines. It's not like, what do you call it? The phone I'm even speaking with you now. Something tiny, you can even put it in your pocket or your bag. So how do they find their ways into the forest? Seizing, look at the quantum of those machines being seized. Oh, Charlie. So when are our institutions going to sit up? Because a developed nation strives on its institutions. That is all, not magic, no robots. It's only institutions, the checks and balances. We always talk about the European countries, my brother. How did they do it? Yesterday I said if you don't know anything or sometimes someone educates you or someone shows you the way, you follow suit, you also learn it. We've been traveling in and out. Look at how they've managed their country. Oh, Ghana, this Galamsey issue there. My brother, listen, some of us, we are fortunate to have this rainwater. Because when we are in the wet season, that is where our boreholes springs up. But when we get to the dry season, my brother, we suffer a lot. Now.
Okay, Emmanuel, you've made your points. I appreciate that. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Seth, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Kwame. You see, as the last caller said, our institution is there. If you see sample of computer, it is artificial of the human environment. Anything you instruct as an input on the computer, it will give you a result. Why not sit down and re-strengthen our institution, especially decentralization? When you go to the assembly, you see that they have a secretariat called Community Development Agency, this thing under the decentralization system. These are not working at all. Anytime you go to them to want to have a little knowledge about how can we go for our own voluntary development in our community, somebody sees that maybe he have tendered some contract to some people to do some work. So he will be delaying you or frustrating you, and then your mindset you have, you cannot do anything about it. Those are the things. Let's have a mechanism in the assembly and which can do monitoring and validations of all the agencies we have under this country. So when we have it like that, you go there, you have a coordinating body in the assembly which can coordinate all that this thing and brief the MC. So if things is going like that, you see the country will move forward. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much for calling, Seth in Ajay Kuju. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Kwame.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Blaise. I'm calling from Panta.
Go ahead.
The Galamsey issue, the government is not doing anything about it. I was at Chibi. They are doing student and parent meeting last weekend. I was at Chibi. They are doing the Galamsey on campus, on the school premises, that you can see vividly. It's not hidden on the school. About 4 places. Even I went there just to have a look. About 4 places, even behind the girls' dormitory. The students are complaining. The headmaster is aware. They say they can't sleep because the machine operates from the morning up to the following day. The children cannot sleep. And if the children cannot sleep, how can they learn? And this one, they can see there are police office there. People are roaming the streets. Everybody is watching this and they say they can't see it. about it. How can they be doing a guarantee on a school campus and they are saying they can't see it? Kwame, you and your team should go there. It's heavy. The secondary school there is very, very bad. I was so worried about the students. I was asking a few of them, how did they learn? They were all complaining. They said they can't learn. They can't sleep. If you can't sleep, well, how can you learn? You have to send some people to the school to check what is really going on there. Because they said that the headmaster has protested and nobody is doing anything about it. It's like the people that are doing the thing are the big shots there. So there is nothing anybody can do about it. This is what we vote for. I voted for John Mahama for a change. This is not what I voted for. Kwame, please, you and your team should go to the school. It's very, very bad. It's very, very, very bad.
I haven't been to the school that you're talking about, but what I can confidently tell you is that I've been to that area several times. Morning, afternoon, evening, nights, Orekodo, live and colored. I went for a program on the 25th of May last year in that area. A walking distance from me was a police station. I spoke to the police, one of the officers over there, that you guys want to tell us that you don't know what the people are doing there. He just looked at me and laughed. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Kwame. I hope you are doing well.
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm very good.
Your name, please?
My name is Fred from Hacho.
Fred, go ahead.
Kwame, with no disrespect, can you and I buy excavator?
Can you and I buy what?
Excavator.
Hey, I don't have that money.
So why are we fighting those who are against the fight? Why are we pouring water on stone? We know the real thing. You and I cannot afford excavator. Who are those who in the excavators? The good are not being mined by host and cutlass. So the people, they know what they are doing. They are just pouring water on stone. It will never get softened. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Okay, I lost out on this caller. 0302208080. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Kwame.
Yes, good morning, Hajia. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. My brother, did I hear a sister saying that the government is not doing anything about the galamsey going on, and that maybe there's galamsey going on in a school where she knows, and it is very, very devastated.
She doesn't know. She went there, and that's her experience.
Thank you. I want to remind her that we were in this country. I doubt why she didn't tell us since when did the galamsey started in that school in Tebi. Because we were in this country, and whole running mate of a candidate told us that galamsey is a better because a good year no and galamsey no better. Didn't she hear that? All that time she was out of this country. Look, when we are talking about government is doing something or not, government cannot do everything at the same time. It is by process. That is why this government have bring serious measures to combat the galamsey. But it will not be one day wonder. It will be gradually. We are trying to do it. So it shouldn't come and just poo everything and say the government is doing no. It is not true. The government is trying his best to make sure that somebody took 8 good years and destroy something, and you are expecting someone to take 1.5 years to do it. Is he a magician? He's not a magician. But at least we have a responsible mining institution that is teaching people how to do galamsey responsibly. How they do it in.
Oh. We lost Hajia there. Anyway, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Kwame.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Martin, calling from Achimota.
Martin, go ahead.
You see, this galamsey issue could have been solved simply. I watch Gold Rush on DSTV. They have a nice system of giving concessions to people and managing it so well. Australia is doing very well with gold mining. So this thing could have been done in a very simple manner. Halt the galamsey, reclaim the lands, and put a system that will make it clean. Because no matter what, we can't lie about it. There's money in the soil. But the way they are going about it is the whole issue. So it's the system. You understand? Those you are sacking, those you are stopping from going for the money, they know there is money there. So they will find ways and means. Governments will come. The new authorities will find ways to get concessions. So it should just be a clean thing that will not disturb the environment. That is all. We can't lie about it. But the way is being mined. That is the whole problem. We should have a good system. Other than that, we will keep talking about Galamsey 20 years. We still have the same issue. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. 0302208080. Or you can send us your message on WhatsApp number 0500,202. Hello, good morning. Oh, I lost out this caller, but you can try. Hello, good morning.
A friend, a brother from the same constituency. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, 11. Go on. Go ahead.
Thank you. You see, let me say good morning to what? Honorable Keneboa, former 9 months boss. You see, this is what we are saying. No? When the man was there, doing everything possible, party people are complaining. Kwame, let me remind you. You remember my president said that what? Some of our members are also doing Galamsey. They were fighting 9 months leader Keneboa seriously because it doesn't allow them to also mine. And the man said, no, not that I'm not allowing this. Don't mine in the water. Go ask it. By the time we hear, no, Keneboa have been changed. And do you know the reason they are giving? Oh, with the military, they appoint this thing. And Keneboa have been there 1 year. So what? They need to bring another fee. And they brought an issue. And also the lady, I'm pleading with them. Government is doing something about it. But I will say that it is too little. We know government have brought a lot of measures. But I know it is not easy to fight the menace. But I can say on categorical that if government can take restrictive measures, I'm telling you, that too is that some just say government can fight it. Or Kwame, don't you agree with me? We shouldn't say that some of our people are doing it, so we are like, have we forgotten about our future generation? Look at what the lady said in Chebi. And I want to ask you, I'm waiting for a friend. What are you doing there? It is not about taking land from people alone. We are begging you, because I also reside in that place. Don't send your guys to come and take commission from this. Please. Honorable, I'm waiting for the friend of change. We are begging you. You are the Chebi man. Please. Do your possible best also to help government in fighting this menace in your area. I remember John Mahama when he said that Chebi is a Galamsey hub. You were annoyed. But look at what the lady from he came there and see. Even students can't even learn because of the noise making of this Galamsey. So I salute you this one. I'm begging you.
Okay, Eben, your point has been made, and I appreciate that. If you still want to be a part of this conversation, the WhatsApp number is active all the way to 10 hours GMT, 0500,202, 0500,202. You can send us a message all the way through to 10, or you can find us on our socials, Class 913 on Facebook and Class 913 on X. We're going to be going to the phone lines and get to speak to Darrell Bosu, who is a Deputy Director of Arusha, Ghana, and engage him on what transpired at the presser held by the Minister for Lands, Forestry and Mines, the Honorable Amakofi-Boa, yesterday concerning the Achimota forest, and of course all that he had to say about Galamsey as well. As and when we connect with Darrell, we're going to be speaking to him on this platform. But you can keep your messages coming on WhatsApp number 0500,202, 0500,202. I have a message here. You don't add your name, but I would always appreciate if you do. Please, Mr. Kwame, in Ghana here, we are acting like cows, so we can't stop this Galamsey in Ghana. Please, where are the army? They should go and deal with anyone in the forest. We've been discussing this for years. As to why they are not given the opportunity, well, Eben has told us when Keneboa was given the opportunity, party people were fighting him. We know this. This is not a secret, and we were told that he's served for some time, so someone else will come and serve. It's all to get people to do it. We know. And we claim we are fighting it. We're only throwing money at the problem, and we are not solving any problem. With the issue of Galamsey, if I were to be in authority, I would order a shoot to kill with respect to anyone we see there. Daniel from Dansoman, you send those one. You say, good morning, Kwame. I do really like you. I wish we can sit on a table one day. I would love to meet you, my brother. What some of we, the callers, do compare is disgusting. Sorry. If the thing is good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. Galamsey is taking us back Kogi in Hachu, you sent those one. Okay, Kogi, I appreciate your message, and hopefully we'll get to meet someday. Good morning, Kwame. Isn't it that our institutions don't work, but the syndrome one man no chop is what is killing us? Thank you. Olu Jumper, you sent those one. Olu, I appreciate your message. SK Intema says, I'm surprised some callers calling to play defense. Okay. I witnessed this last year when I visited my brother in Ibuakwa State. We know Galamsey started years back. We understand the extent of damage, and that's why we elected this government to deal with it. Sadly, it's not happening. Okay, SK, you sent those one. This one says, good morning, Kwame. This Galamsey issue can never be stopped. If you travel through Takwa, Bibiani, Trano, you would see the massive damage on the land. For me, I think the government should rather send the Minerals Commission than the military to go there and deal with the issues. It can never be stopped with the way we are fighting it. Charlie, everybody knows what we can do to deal with the issue. Escobar in Lakeside. Everybody knows what we can do. But we pretend we are fighting it. We are throwing money at the problem. Look at the money that we have spent in dealing with the Galamsey over the years. And it is getting worse. So shouldn't that tell all of us something? That something is amiss somewhere. You cannot be throwing money at the problem all of these years. And we are literally still where we are. Now, the other day, didn't we see a video of Galamsey being done close to a school in the Western North region? And it is done in broad. They are not hiding it. So it's very frustrating when I keep on hearing, we are trying. If you're trying, it is not about effort. One of my former bosses would always tell me this, Kwame, nobody cares about your efforts. Everybody cares about results. In any result-oriented company, nobody is interested in, we are trying, we are doing. No. In any results-oriented company, everyone is interested in, so where are we now? But this is what we do. We are throwing money. And now party officials can look us in the face and tell us confidently that you are buying Abba. Tell us confidently that we don't like Kenobua. Who doesn't know this? Bribing officials. Who doesn't know this? And we claim we are fighting with it. You see, the people you are fighting for, they are drinking Vox. You are drinking pure water. The people you are fighting and arguing for, they drink Vox. When they are sick, they go to hospital abroad. When they even have headache, they fly abroad. You will go to public hospital. And yet you are defending this mess because you're a party person. Go ahead. This one says, Kwame, it's very annoying for people to be rejecting 20% for transactions, especially market women and pure water sellers. Kwame, the only thing that can stop Galamsey is to shoot and kill. Let us just try it for 1 week. We will see. It won't happen. Nobody will be killed. Nobody would even order anybody to go and shoot anybody. Because the people who order them to go and shoot, they are party people. So who they shoot? They do sales. They bring money. So how do they kill anybody? It won't happen. If we really want to deal with this, we can deal with this. We're here. When a member of parliament told us in this country that we can deal with Galamsey in 1 week, where has he been in the last 1.5 years? He's gone on commercial break. Let me read this. You send us your own issues every day that you want us to discuss. You say this NDC government has disappointed. Okay, you say if the majority of the MPs think that we the citizens are happy about what's going on in this country, they are deceived. 2028 is not too far away. Okay, thank you. Meshach in Amasamai. You see, in fact, lawyer Sami Jemfi and Gold Board Management needs to be applauded for the wonderful work he's doing for Mother Ghana. His decision to go into financial agreement with Ghana Water Company is in the right direction, which would enable Ghana Water Company to produce potable water for Ghanaians. Now you see, this is when I say we are throwing money away. Very good support that is coming from Sami Jemfi. But in the areas where we are using the money to go and support with a good provision of the water, we are allowing Galamsey to take place there. So no matter how much Ghana Water will sink into dealing with the problem, if the Galamsey is not stopping, we will keep on sinking money to ensure that the water is clean. Who are we fooling? Who are we fooling? John Abbott says, people going to pray in the forest doesn't mean they own it. The issue is about those who illegally own the land. One can pray in any forest or in any mountain. Okay, I'm not sure anybody has been stopped from going to pray there, to the best of my knowledge. Class FM, please help me wish my one and only Mr. Emmanuel Kwashi, a happy birthday. And this one is coming from Daniel. Okay, so Mr. Emmanuel Kwashi, there must be many Emmanuel Kwashis in Ghana. So I don't know which particular Emmanuel Kwashi this one is, but Daniel wants to celebrate you this morning. Daniel Mensa Ajete wants to celebrate you this morning. So happy birthday to you, Mr. Emmanuel Kwashi, as you celebrate your birthday. You can keep your messages coming on WhatsApp number 0500,202 0500,202. We are hoping to speak to Mr. Darrell Bosu. He is the deputy director for Arocha Ghana. As and when we do get through to him, we can take the conversations from there. He agreed to speak to us, but we are working the phone lines to extend the conversations on the presser that was held by Minister Amabua yesterday. We can't seem to reach him at the moment, but we'll keep working the lines as and when we do get through to him. We hope to be speaking to Mr. Darrell Bosu. You're still live on Class 91.3 FM. issues emanating from the elections. Mr. Anyagba, good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you so much for making time to speak to us. We're hearing that your party has decided to cancel elections in 3 constituencies on grounds that the elections were conducted in violation of party rules. How then did these guys go ahead to conduct the election?
Well, good morning to your listeners and your colleagues in the studio. In a true sense of the word, those 3 elections that have been annulled were not supposed to have gone on. They were supposed to be on hold. And so the steps to run those elections were contrary to the directive. And the annulment is designed to bring back the status quo, pending the resolutions of the matters that necessitated a hold to be put on that election. So technically, there wasn't an election in those 3 constituencies to begin with.
I want to believe that ahead of the election, this was communicated to executives of these constituencies that you can't go ahead and do it. Are there any sanctioning regimes for anyone who appears to have been part of this?
Well, we are not aware the circumstances that led to the flouting of the National Steering Committee's directives by these constituencies and by extension the Regional Steering Committee. And so the Steering Committee has requested the attention of those, the Ashanti Regional Steering Committee on the 21st to explain the motivation or a reason for those elections contrary to the directives.
Are these the only constituencies you're battling with at this point?
Well, I tell you, it's not so much battling. It's just about ensuring that proper administrative regime operates and people comply with the directives that have come regarding the elections. So I wouldn't say battle, but then there are other constituencies as well. So altogether, about 38 constituencies, including these 3. Some had court injunctions, some had delay in preparation of their electoral albums, which were the reasons why they were made to be done later. And so about 38 or so constituencies are outstanding, and they've been referred to the party's Electoral Affairs Committee to see to the resolution of all the outstanding matters and then make their recommendation to National Steering Committee for implementation as soon as possible.
And if I may ask, are there any particular timelines to all of this?
Well, the timeline is, it's an urgent situation. We have our regional elections coming in August, second week in August. So the circumstance is urgent, and so the committee would work expeditiously to get the information to us. But the key thing is that they'll be diligent in their work.
In some of the areas that we monitor the elections, unfortunately, a bit of physical action, a bit of fights in here and there. This must be very worrying for you as a party.
Well, I mean, that's why those areas, specifically, I think the height of it is the Fijiaseche East that you're referring to. Reason why a ban or hold was placed on that election. And so if people had adhered to the directive, tension wouldn't have gotten that high to warrant the unfortunate happening and the sad loss of life in that process. So leadership is doing everything according to the rules that have been established to guide the elections. What we need is people to comply with those rules, and I think that will be just fine.
My understanding is that you are meeting some executives of the party, especially in the Ashanti region, to deliberate on the way forward, correct?
So that's what I said earlier. It's the Ashanti Regional Steering Committee that is scheduled to meet with National Steering Committee on Tuesday, the 21st, to understand the circumstances surrounding their decision to conduct the Adansia Sokwa Bantama and Fija Setre East elections when they were told not to.
On a personal level, are we likely to see Mr. Richard Ahagba on the sheet to contest for the Director of Communications again?
No, you're supposed to have current information, but I think you don't. So let me say that on your network. I'm not contesting for Director of Communication, but rather I'm contesting for the National Affairs Vice Chairman position of the party.
Okay. I wish you well in that.
Thank you kindly, my brother.
Great. Thank you so much for your time, too. So that was the current Director of Communications for the New Patriotic Party, Richard Ahagba. Okay. He's told us that he's no longer interested in this one. So he's going for National Vice Chair of the party. We wish him very well in that regard. Okay, I've got a few more messages on the issues concerning Galamsey that was raised here. Hopefully, we're going to be having the spokesperson for the Minister of Lands, Forestry and Mines, Mohammed Kabori, also join us in the studio to extend these conversations. Good morning, Kwame. Why was a woman countering the one complaining of the Galamsey in a school in Chibi and was trying to equalize the past and the present governments? Is she NDC than everyone else? But how can you justify or defend this? Politics will never let people. Okay, Abdul Insan City. Okay, I get where you're going. And you say that is our biggest setback. They say everyone has an opinion. Good morning, Kwame. The Galamsey issue, the government should arrest the heads, not the hustlers going to the bush to hustle. They work for the rich people, so they should arrest and clamp down on the top people who bring in the machines and mobilize the workers. It will stop. But it began now with day. Only the poor suffers and the rich go away scot-free. Mr. John, you send this one. That's why one of the callers was asking me the cost of an excavator or a chamfine machine. And the boys you go and see over there, they cannot buy a chamfine machine. They cannot buy an excavator. Everybody knows it is the powerful, the rich, and the mighty who are conniving with authorities in the area, from the district police commander to the MCE to the assemblyman, in connivance with all of them. To you shout and nothing will happen. Everybody gets their cuts. They move on as if nothing is happening. And when they are sick, they'll go to hospital in Abuchi. You will go to polyclinic. That is if you are lucky. If it doesn't get well for you, you go to a health center in your hometown. The hospital is about 2,000 kilometers away from where you live. So you keep on defending the Galamsey. Hello, Kwame. If we can't shoot and kill, I'm proposing we rather... Hey! Francisca, I beg. I beg, we haven't gotten there. Francisca in Mensa, I beg you, we haven't gotten there. I beg you. Francisca is proposing that we castrate them. Sigh. Aika. Francisca, we haven't gotten there. Okay. Maybe it will be something that will be out for consideration at some points, but I'm not sure we've gotten there yet. Hi, bro. Under democracy in Ghana, illegal mining will never stop. Mullah Omar, you send this from Tema. Hey, really? But if it was under a benevolent dictator like Jerry Rawlings, this nonsense will stop. Probably. So sometimes I agree with people when they say that democracy, it is not democracy. Because if everyone can have their say and can have their thoughts on everything, this is where we will be. Sometimes we need a benevolent dictator who says sleep and everybody will sleep, stop and everybody will stop. I can imagine Galamsey ongoing in Rwanda and Paul Kagame wakes up to say, everybody stop. If we catch you, we'll deal with you. Everybody will stop. But here, we are all speaking English. We are all speaking English. How will this stop? Anyway, Kwame, I don't understand why the big chiefs can't also take action in stopping Galamsey in their areas. I can't understand the aloofness of these powerful chiefs. Government alone cannot eliminate Galamsey, Davi Sena. Oh, Davi, this matter. Someone said the chiefs themselves are involved. So how would they try to stop it? That's the thing. Davi said that we hear a lot of things. We receive a lot of messages. A lot of them, we can't even read them. We can't even read them. Some go to the extent of mentioning names of powerful and influential chiefs who are involved. But you see, because I don't have money for courts, some of them, when I get that information, I have to dig and dig and dig and dig and dig. And when you go undercover, nobody is prepared to open up and say confidently, with their voices being recorded, that so and so chief is involved. They are afraid. They can't do it. So yes, we know. But getting the proof, because how do you tell me, Davisena? I love to call you sweet mom. Sweet mom, how do you tell me that you are a chief of a particular area? Like a Buakwa South. You are the Omanhini there. This woman says she just went to visit a daughter or a son or a family person in a secondary school. The Galamsey is not hidden. It is open. And the MC says he's not aware. The assemblyman is not aware. The district police commander is not aware. Davisena, who are we joking with? If it is hiding in the forest, deep into the forest, then you'd say not everybody goes there. But this is broad daylight. That same area, for anybody who is familiar with Enyinem, as you are going to Kumasi, Osino is on your right. Take that Osino road. No curve, no bend. Just keep going straight. When you get tired on that stretch, sleep in your car. So that nobody will suspect you or anything. Sleep in your car. In the night, you hear tim 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 tim. And you can, depending on where you are, you would know that it is coming from this side or that side or this side or that side. And the funny thing is that around that same time, you will see all of these big trucks. I have experienced it over 3 or 4 times. You see all of these big trucks going back and forth. So the assemblyman is not aware. The district police commander is not aware. The MP is not aware. The local chief is not aware. That means now we are deceiving ourselves. We are just deceiving ourselves. If we want to deal with it, we can. If we don't want to, let's just save the money and use it to do something else. Maybe that would help. Until then, we would speak a lot of English and then not much would happen. Dr. Isaka has joined us in the studio. Here. One and two. We are seizing in their hundreds. So how are they getting there? Bwana. Like Didan Kimathi would say. How are they getting there, Bwana? Anyway. Doc, good morning.
Good morning, Kwame.
I hope all is well.
All is well by God's grace. And good morning to your cherished listeners and to your team as well. It's good to be here.
Great. This morning we have a number of things on our plates. We're tying all of these conversations from the presser from the Honorable Minister Amakofi Boa yesterday. The Bethel regaining Achimota Forest. We'll look at all of the issues emanating from the Galamsey conversation as well. And then possibly we'll tie in a bit of MPP related stuff in this as well. We've spoken to Richard Anyagba, but as and when we get the NPP representative in the studio as well, we'll push in that direction. Doc, let's start with Achimota Forest. Or no, let's start with Galamsey, and then we'll dovetail into Achimota Forest. Weeks, months, years before the election in 2024, we discussed dealing with Galamsey, extensively on this platform. We engaged authority after authority after authority. At the time you were in opposition, you criticized, you lambasted. I'm not talking about you, but elements of your party, of course. Criticized, lambasted. Even went to the extent, according to one leading member of your party, who is now Minister for Communications, the Honorable Sam George, that this can be done in weeks if we really want to. I am not blaming your governments for what has happened. But in the last 1.5 years, from what you know, because you go back and forth, Do you think your government is doing enough to deal with this menace?
Thank you, Kwame. Look, the fight against Galamsey is an existential one.
You didn't know that previously?
We did know that.
But that is not you were saying in opposition.
Absolutely, and that's what we're also saying today.
Mm.
Listen, when we have a problem which is as gargantuan as the Galamsey menace is at the moment, quick fixes just don't work. All right. Sometimes in life, you've got to accept what we call marginal gains when you're dealing with a titan as such as the Galamsey menace. All right. So listen, could we as a government in opposition have known the sheer scale of the problem with our limited resources? Perhaps not. All right. And so yes, the idea that we haven't done anything, it's not totally true.
No, I never said you have not done anything. Yes.
I'm talking about general. But are we where we wanted to be as a party in this fight against an existential threat? The answer is no. Are we getting there? Yes, we are getting there. So look, I will accept marginal gains at this timing point, and I can assure Ghanaians that the fight is on. Look, the first thing we did, Kwame, when we came in was to repeal LI 2462. LI 2462 was the first thing we did. We repealed it. Now, we know that only one party since independence legitimized mining in our conserved forests, and that was the NPP. We rolled back on that, and we brought in, we sort of took that out. And then we didn't just stop there. We reclaimed forests. As we speak now, there were red zones. There were zones that were untouchable. There were no-go areas. We have reclaimed up to 9 of those, Kwame. So are we on track? Perhaps not as much as we would have wanted, but are we doing something? We are absolutely doing something. Kwame, in terms of protection, NIMOS, we have equipped NIMOS to the teeth to be able to take on this fight. We haven't just done that. We have changed leadership at the top of NIMOS. We're not saying that, Colonel Bua wasn't doing a good job. He was doing a great job. But sometimes CEOs move senior leaders around a little bit just so that, they can have a bit more hunger to get things done. We have done that. I would dispute that. That is cynical. That is cynical. Are we going to tell every CEO who moves teams around that they're doing that for the sake of their? No, I don't think so. Sometimes it is the case that presidents and CEOs tend to move people around. It is just the way it is in senior leadership. Well, are we going to say? Of course, obviously, we would not be able to, mention all party people. But is that fight still ongoing? Has this leader done anything? Apologies, my phone is beeping. Has this new leader, done anything untoward? No, he hasn't. He has simply continued in the trajectory Bua was on. If not doing more than Bua was doing. Okay, not just that. We've also done the Blue Water agents. They are on the ground. They are doing the fight. All right. Not just that. We have also decentralized licensing. Gone were the days where you could sit in Accra and issue licenses. It's not the case anymore. You'd have to go to the source. You'd have to go to the village level to be able to get a concession, right, to get a license. And to do so, the village unit committees get involved. And they don't want to give it to you because they're not happy with your blueprint. They won't give it to you. Right. So we have done all of that. In addition to that, we also have Gold Board, who are systematically trying their very best to ensure that any gold they buy is tracked and it's not coming from illegal mining. Kwame, look, this fight against Galamsey cost us our very best men. What did Obama or Mani Boma die for? What did Mutaka die for? They were on their way. Alaji Lamuna, they were on their way, all right, to ensure that we had responsible, small-scale mining so that local people, our boys and girls in the communities will understand that, listen, there's a better way to do this. It cost us their lives. Some of those guys on the plane were presidential material. So let it not be said anywhere that we in the NDC have no stomach to fight this. It has cost us our very best men. And I can assure Ghanaians that the fight is not going to stop there. We are going to continue fighting Galamsey because it's existential. And at the end of the day, people would say there was a government that came along that didn't celebrate its party, factionaries who were engaged in Galamsey. Remember that our old men have been dragged before Yoko to be investigated by the president. Unlike the previous government who were clearing agents. When matters came, they simply cleared them.
That investigation appears to be going on forever.
Kwame, when an investigation appears to be going on forever, there are two ways you can look at it. It is either a complex one or it's much ado about nothing. All right, so let us wait. Let's give it time, and I'm sure that we will get there. So look, we had a 4-year mandate. Are we prosecuting it diligently? We are prosecuting it diligently. With regards to Galamsey, are we where we want to be? No. But are we where we used to be? Absolutely not. This is not an era where, party chairman and party apparatchiks came on studio and celebrated gold. No, we don't do that. And then you see, on the contrary, we track down our own men said to be involved in Galamsey. So this fight will be won. Is it going to be an easy battle? Absolutely not.
Who is doing the Galamsey?
Your guess is as good as mine. I hope I have, national security lenses to be able to tell who is doing Galamsey. But look, our local boys doing Galamsey, yes, they are doing Galamsey. Are the village folks doing Galamsey? Are they doing? Yes, they are doing Galamsey. Are we aware there are some foreign nationals because of our porous borders who come into this country to engage in Galamsey? Yes, we do know that. Party members in terms of opposition and government members, because every Ghanaian belongs to something. Into Galamsey, absolutely, there might be. Do I know who is in Galamsey? Can I name names? Absolutely not, because my pay grade is not at that level where I can name who is in the Galamsey and who is not.
I asked you that for a reason, and of course, I wasn't expecting that you run through a register and give me 2,000 names when I pose that question to you. But every now and then, this is what we get. So, for example, this mobile phone, maybe I can afford a champagne machine, an excavator. All the things I'm told that is used to do this business. It's not chicken change. That's the first one. 2, these machines, equipments, guns that the minister told us they have seized, these are things that are not manufactured in the Galamsey sites. They are not assembled there. People take them there. And this is where you come in as government, because you're providing leadership. You have leaders all over the place. You have MCs, you have MPs, you have a regional minister, you have DISEC, you have a national security person. When an excavator is moving from one location to the other. In fact, at some point, we were told that there was even going to be, DVLA told us that they'll put some sticker B on the excavator so that if it ends up at a place it's not supposed to be, we can be able to track it. Leadership is supposed to be managing all of these areas. So if after all that the minister has been telling us in over a year, the minister holds a presser only 24 hours ago and tells me they are still arresting this large chunk of people with excavators. Where are the excavators passing to go there?
I mean, it tells us the extent and the scale of the problem. Okay, remember that we are the first government who has tracked excavators.
You are not tracking these ones?
There were excavators in the system before we came into power, and it just means that we've not been able to absolutely track down every single one of them. But we are on course. And we look, like it has to do with the sheer scale of the problem, the volume of the problem. We've been in power for 1.5 years, 1 year, 6 months. Are we able to track down every, excavator that was on the ground? We are trying. Are we there yet? No, we are not there yet. But are we making an effort? We are making an effort. So there are still things there that we are finding on daily basis, as you rightly, the minister rightly said yesterday. But look, let it be put on record that this government is absolutely determined to win the fight against Galamsey. Unlike the previous government who, hinged their presidency.
No, that's why we kicked them out.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's governance is a continuum, so we would always make a record back to there. Look, we are not pledging our leadership on this fight, but we have the stomach for this fight, and if anyone can win this fight, it is President.
Is it a case of, with the greatest of respect, a disconnect between leadership in Accra and leadership at the base? Because Galamsey is not done here, and leadership down there. The minister might be here, brilliant policies, very articulate man, says all the things that we want to hear. He's following up. He's traveling all over the place. But at the base, there's a regional minister who is supposed to be head of REXIC. There's an MCE beyond the minister at the local level, because the minister is sitting at the regional capital. The MCE is at the base with the people. A lady called into this program. I don't know whether you were listening on your way here. She said she went to a place around a Buakwa South constituency, and this is not too far from Accra. She goes to see her family person. There's a secondary school there. I know of a Buakwa State College, and Akim Asafu. If there's another school there, maybe I'm not familiar with. Behind the girls' dormitory. So it is not a hidden place. It is happening live. The kids have complained that the noise from the excavator and all of that makes it difficult for them to learn. The headmaster has complained multiple locations. How can anybody convince anyone that the assemblyman of the area is not aware? The MC of the area is not aware. The district police commander of that area is not aware. The local chief, whether he's a local or paramount or village chief, how are they not all aware? How?
Kwame, I wish I had a crystal ball and could tell you exactly whose fault that was, which I don't have. But are we taking the fight to the ground? Yes, which is why licensing is being moved to the source at the moment. So we are doing something in that regard. Is there some disconnect between, the different factions and the different entities that are supposed to coordinate to make this happen? Potentially, yes. Can we do better in that scope? Absolutely, yes. So if we follow American, after 9/11, before 9/11, America had no oversight National Security Authority. So what we had the FBI, and then we had the CIA.
Now they have the Department of Homeland Security.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the point I was trying to make here. So these things are, in this fight, you get wiser by the day. So America, who have the best intelligence, sat there and people came into their country, hijacked their own planes, and used them as bombs against them. And they learned. And so they had that oversight national security, which now coordinates the different entities. So it is possible that going forward, we in the NDC might decide, okay, let's have this entity that actually coordinates the different entities in the fight against Galamsey, and perhaps that would be the way to go. So something we can take on board.
There have been conversations along the lines of sanctioning regimes and who should be leading this fight. So every now and then I get messages of throw the army there. Of course, I do not decide that. Throw the army there, because we have tried all kinds of people. Yeah. It doesn't appear to have worked. Then there are those who also argue that, look, we have done this in different ways and forms. We did Operation Vanguard, Operation and we used the same army. We didn't get results. There are some who say, so if Dr. Isaka is, let's say, the MC for location A, and the president is consistently getting word from location A, he's not working, fire him. Would that work?
Absolutely. Anything that needs to be done will be done in this fight. Have we since head on the chopping board as yet? No, but like I said, our own leaders, bigger than fishes, bigger than MCs, were hauled before Yoko. So no fish is too big. No horse is too big to be gored. And horses will be gored if that is what it takes us to do. So look, again, let me just say that, look, the minister and His Excellency President Mahama are absolutely determined to win this war. Is it going to be easy? No, but we are winning this war. And unlike others who cleared their ministers and their leaders, we are not doing so. We are taking the fight to the source, which is why NAMO's leadership has been changed, which is why these days you would have to get a license from the source to be able, for the locals to be able to get on with responsible mining. So, and like I've said, this has cost us lives. It's cost us our very best men. So let it not be said anywhere that we in the NDC do not have the stomach for this fight. Is it going to be easy? Not. Are we going to determine to win it? Yes, we are determined.
Okay, I'm glad to have.
That is all that matters in politics: the determination and the will, and we have it in abundance.
Okay, we voted for you for 4 years. You've done a year and a half, so we'll see. I'm also glad to have Mr. Mahmoud Kabore join us in the studio. He speaks for the Minister for Lands and Forestry. We'll have a number of questions for him, and then hopefully we'll be able to navigate our way past this. Boss, good morning.
Kwame, good
It's been
morning.
a while.
Yes.
My producer says I should say on a lighter note. I say why you can say.
Hey, Samu.
Which means life is good.
It is
So
well.
he also says that after
We will have to go and
after
see.
10 o'clock, make life good for us.
We have to go and see Wajukum.
I knew that was coming in at some point. But Mahmoud, yesterday I listened to your boss. I mean, he addressed a number of issues. But two key things stood out in that presser for people like us. The fight against Galamsey and Achimota Forest. We started the conversation with Galamsey, so we'll get into the forest issues very shortly. The minister, every time he speaks to us, tells us, we have done this, we have arrested, we have seized. In fact, yesterday he added guns. I think he mentioned 112.
Yeah.
112, if I got the figure correct.
All put together 116.
All put together 116. So Mahmoud, help me understand this. You say you are hungry. You are cooking every day to satisfy the hunger. I see you cooking every time, but every time you are complaining of being hungry. I am putting this proverbially because since you came into office, you have told us all the things that you are doing to fight. But how is it that you are fighting, let's say, these guys, and every now and then you are still going to the same places and seizing excavators? I can't seem to understand that.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you, Kwame. Good morning to my good brother. And thanks so much for having me. Unfortunately, the kind of food we are serving is not like the Jesus bread, where you use 3 bread to feed 5,000 people. The depth to which Ghana got sunk as far as the matters of illegal mining are concerned was so serious. And so it doesn't matter how much you do, you still have people making an incursion because it's not one syndicate, it's not one group of people, it's not a few community persons. It's a large syndicate across the length and breadth of this country. Even communities where they do not do mining, you have people coming from there interested and having, the interest and the urge to go into mining and all of that. I mean, we've made a couple of arrests that was very surprising. We arrested some people that we never thought these people were anywhere close to mining. But our intel, our operations, and our investigation arrive at their doorstep and they've been apprehended. One thing that is very clear is what my brother said. Are we done with the fight against illegal mining? No. Are we where we were at the time we took over? No. We've made considerable progress. Is there still more work that needs to be done? Yes. There's still more work to be done. Because if for nothing at all, yesterday you heard the minister announce that for the first time we do not have any red zone forest reserve. That should tell you that we've been able to dismantle a lot of the criminal armed gangs that used to operate within our forest reserves. And those were the ammunitions you talked about. Imagine entering Ghana's forest and people are wielding armed gangs, armed firearms. At the least provocation, they want to kill. You remember the gentleman from Nkawie Forest District? They butchered him like a goat. So it has not been an easy battle. We have never underestimated that battle, but we are very optimistic. Victory is ahead. And so we just need to intensify the programs, the policies that we've put in place. We just need to expand them. For instance, look at the impunity with which people used to encroach our river bodies. Today, the presence of Blue Water Guard alone has served as deterrence, deterring people from going to the rivers. Portability argument, we will always lose it because, look, even in the days where Galamsey were not there, times like this, major rainy seasons like this, the turbidity issues are always different. And now we are in Galamsey era. We've not done much in terms of clearing the river banks where the previous havoc has left debris and heaps of sand. We are in a major rainy season. All those sand have been washed into the riverbed. What will happen? Turbidity will skyrocket. So yes, today I will not even go in for the turbidity argument. But the most important point that needs to be noted is that how often do we even see people who at some point in our life we see them on the rivers dealing with impunity, with no fear, with no remorsefulness. Today you don't see them again. It should tell you how much we're putting in. And Naimos, I like the question that a gentleman asked yesterday. Was it because of a certain strategic failures associated with the Kenobua administration that led to that transition? No. The work that comes with operation.
We hear party people got him out.
No. No. President Mahama have said he doesn't profit from Galamsey. He has no any Galamsey as a friend. He doesn't need any Galamsey money. So how can a party person walk to President Mahama and say, look, this man is disturbing us, so get him out?
They won't go to Mahama. They would know where to go.
Who? Do you think, look into the face of me or the face of my minister, Honorable Amakofibua? Is it the type anybody can just walk to and say, change this person because he's harassing party people? No. But because of the tedious nature of the work, Kwame, if we should attach you to as one of the troops for even a 3-day operation, you have to seek for 1 month leave to rest. But these are guys who have consistently been on the field for almost a whole year. We realized that the team spirit was coming down because they were exhausted. Again, these are very dangerous syndicate. These galamseyers, they were beginning to identify people's houses. So you need to strategically, as part of security plan, do a bit of.
So if you fight them, they'll come for you.
Pardon?
If you fight them, they'll come for you. Is that what you're saying?
You've not heard. Now people, even forest guards, are no longer even renting in the very communities where the mining are happening. Because they trace them to their houses. So it has not been easy. It has not been easy. But we believe with the Ghanaian uncompromising spirit, that spirit of unity, together, we will prevail.
I understand when you talk about the gravity of this, but it will take me back to the previous question again. You are making the efforts. You are telling us what you're doing to deal with it. I cited the example of the excavator, which is not like the size of a mobile phone. And to the best of my knowledge, it is not assembled in the forest. They move on our streets. We see them. We come across them. Is it that this gang that you talk about is so crack that they have people everywhere? So that even if these excavators are making their way through our routes and going into these sites to go and do whatever, there are people who are aiding and abetting them. Is that the intelligence you are picking up?
Let me give you a simple scenario. We went to do an operation in the Simpa forest. We go to Simpa Junction.
This is where?
This is in the western region.
Okay.
An old woman, if I'm not mistaken, in the age of about around 50s, was on top. Usually the security people are ahead. Mm-hmm. Then we from the communications bureau at the ministry follow later to capture the stories and all of that. Mm-hmm. The lady was on top of her voice. The lady's in her late 50s. If that woman knows the ravaging effects of illegal mining on her life, on the life of her children, on the life of the entire community, she will never accept to be an informant for a galamsey. These are some of the difficulties. The communities themselves find it difficult to accept that what government is doing is rather in their interest. Lack of awareness is our major challenge. And that is why we've intensified community engagement and sensitization. That is why at the least opportunity, we beg people like you, credible voices, to add your voice on the campaign for responsible mining, on the awareness on the dangers of illegal mining. A philosopher once said that the most difficult job in the world is trying to preach emancipation to a slave who loves his chains. Why are the people in these mining communities seeing galamsey as a breakthrough for them? When you and I see it as an environmental threat, a threat to public health, a threat to even food security, they don't see it as such. What we report in Accra as polluted water, they see nothing wrong with it. So really we need to do much in terms of awareness creation. Few communities have begun to rise. You remember the story of Jema in the Western North region. Jema stood up and said no illegal mining. The last time they had the environmental stewardship celebration, and they picked samples of streams within that enclave for scientific tests. And the quality of that water is even better than UN standard. What it means is that when the community rise in support of government, we will win, and we win very quick. But when the community are complicit, when the community don't even appreciate the dangers they find themselves in, it becomes back and forth. I must admit that sometimes after the operations, people try to go back to the very area that we did the operation. we'll find an antidote. Recently, you remember we announced that we had a partnership with the European Union where we are building what we call forest protection camps. Already we've built 10. We are going to build more. It's not buildings in communities. These are buildings in forest reserves, compartments. The intention is to do what we call sustained deployment, or what other people call permanent deployment. The security people will be there 24/7. And so even after our routine operations, there are still people there making sure that nobody returns back to the forest reserves. And these are strategies that comes at a cost. These are strategies that demands a bit of time. That is why we're still using the initial plans of as and when community report, we go in as and when environmentalists like your good brother Erastus get the feed, get the lead, get the intelligence, we go in, and as and when other opinion leaders call on us, we go into.
Well, I understand you have another engagement from here, so I've got just one or two more questions so that you can take leave of us. Two things: we're looking at sanctioning regimes in all of these spaces that you are battling to deal with the Galamsey threats. There's a certain level of leadership there. So I'm talking about that assemblyman. I'm talking about that MC. I'm talking about that member of parliament. I'm talking about the regional minister. You would operate at a national level. You are not in Jema in Western North. You may be in Accra every now and then. You go there. What kind of feedback do you get in terms of how they are managing the situation in their space? I ask you this because we had a caller calling a few minutes before you came in and spoke about the place in Ibuakwa South constituency. She went to go and see her daughter or a family person in a secondary school, and they are doing a Galamsey right behind the ladies' dormitory block. And this is broad daylight. It's not hidden. There's an assemblyman there. There's an MC there. There's a district police commander there. There's an MP for the area. There's a chief. How are they not all aware or doing anything about it?
Kwame, this is the difficulty. And I don't want to sugarcoat. I believe that leadership is about owning up to the task. The day before, after President Mahama had met all MMDCs and sworn them in at the Medina Local Government Institute, he made a very profound statement. That especially all of you in mining communities, how well you manage the menace of illegal mining is your KPI. So, is there a DC in Abuakwa South?
Yes, there is.
Is he aware? If he's not aware, is he sleeping on his job? Has security people reported the incident? Is his district commander aware? What is the local security council doing about it? If they are overwhelmed, have they reported it to the regional minister? What has been done about it? These are legitimate questions. For instance, the incident that happened at Abeswa Forest. It shouldn't take a blogger to come and tell us that something like this is going on, and he believes that based on the silence, leadership there can be indicted. Mention the name of the DCE. DCE, were you aware? Did the forestry team in the area ever give any lead to that, what was happening there? What has been the report from your local security people? Assembly member, you go for assembly meeting every now and then. Have you reported the incident? Exactly how our local leadership helping central government win this fight? These are legitimate questions. I don't want to take the bait out of the president's mouth, but I believe 1.5 years is enough period to assess who is genuinely supporting president and the central government win the battle against Galamsey and who is not. Okay. Their KPI should be reviewed. Whoever is performing, we will know. If they are not performing, it doesn't mean they are the only reciprocity of the ideas. There are a lot more people who can support the president achieve his aim. But okay. I do not want to jam the gun and say that DCEA is complicit, DCEB is complicit. It will only take the president review of their KPIs for us to know who is doing the work.
Let's do Achimota Forest before you take leave of us. Yesterday we heard your boss tell us that was very profound, that essentially we are reverting to what existed in my grandfather's time. This is a property that at some point, portions of it have been willed to people. This is a property where we hear there's an old family who is challenging government. The case is in court or so. For, I don't know whether it's portions of the forest or the whole forest in itself. How have you arrived at this decision, if you can help us?
First of all, the dangers of climate change is real. That everyone must first of all understand. And when we promised we're going to revoke LI 2462, it was not just a campaign promise. You cannot revoke LI 2462, protecting, for instance, say, the Oda forest, the Pramprama forest, the Offense Shelter Bed, the Subri forest, and overlook the importance of the Achimota forest to inhabitants of the Greater Accra and its surroundings. What gave some individuals, some families, even the courage to step forward and say, look, I'm buying that portion, I own this, I'm challenging that, was the introduction of EI 144. So exactly how do we restore the Achimota forest back to its original status, making it indeed an ecological safe zone for the people of Greater Accra? By revoking it. We have revoked it. How you got it in your will, there's a technical committee. You remember already we had a committee reviewing the sale of all public lands. They are done with their work. Their recommendation was sent to Cabinet. Cabinet have given the green light. We have started implementing those recommendations. And the strategy of retrieving lands which did not go through due process was the basis for the formation of the Public Land Protection Task Force. We just inaugurated them some few weeks ago. And so, trust me and trust the minister, the right thing will be done in the interest of the larger Ghanaian community.
Mahmoud, I appreciate your time, and I wish you well. I know you have a lot of engagements.
Thank you, Kwame.
Because of what happened yesterday. So thank you very much for you at least making some time with us this morning as we extend the conversations on this platform. But if you also have some very strong thoughts to share with us, the WhatsApp number remains same, 0500,000 202, 0500,000 202. Uncle Eko is asking, he has 4 pointers that he's asking, has the security agencies been able to trace and retrieve all the excavators that flew to unknown locations under the MPP administration? Well, you had a response to that. Excavators are weapons that are being used to invade Ghana. How do these huge machines pass through our seaport and cleared by SEPs? Ask again, Uncle. There is no doubt that the enemies invading Ghana by poisoning our river bodies are the Ghanaians in collaboration with Ghanaians. If a forest guard was butchered by galamseyers, why can it be wrong for the Ghana army to fight back to save the country? Uncle Eko, we've gone about this security thing back and forth. In the past, Operation Vanguard, some of them I've even forgotten their names. Operation Vanguard, Operation this, that. I'm told that at some points, those same military officers were being compromised. Some. That's what we gathered. As to whether that's true or not, we can argue it out all day, but unfortunately it is what it is. It looks like you go this way, another person dribbles you that way, pretty much. Yeah. I honestly hope we'll get it, Doc, because just like Kabori said before he took leave of us, it does appear that whereas you and I appreciate the challenge of this level of distraction, it's either some people are simply not bothered, or maybe because of what they gain from this, they have closed their mind to reason. That's the only explanation I can give, because you and I understand the relevance of consuming water from these spaces, what it does to our body, what it could possibly do to our body, the food we are eating. And sadly, a lot of our food baskets are from the Galamsey areas. You can extend the conversation to cocoa. Cocoa used to fetch us ridiculous amounts of money. Now the lands are being taken over. It's going to affect livelihoods going forward. So we can have all of these conversations. But it does appear that for another group of people, all of us can go to hell.
Absolutely existential. But the good thing is that we are now in the media space where there's media everywhere, including citizen journalists. So perhaps the NCCA can embark on, can be another route we go down, where the NCCA probably would get bloggers, work with bloggers to perhaps disseminate this information to the local population that, listen, this is an existential threat. Because, like you rightly say, some people don't see it that way, unfortunately.
What about the bits that Kabore was just talking about? The bit with community sensitization and all of that, going down there, engaging the locals, speaking to them, in as much as they are looking at it as a form of livelihood. Because interestingly, in their defense, that's what they say.
Indeed,
opportunities are very limited in our space. For whatever reason, they don't appear to be keen on farming anymore. They see a lot more money in Galamsey. So if they also want those opportunities for themselves and their families, there's nothing that I in Accra will see. They'll tell me, you are living a good life in Accra. What is wrong with me making money and also living a good life? But of course, at the expense of thousands of people, millions of people. Can this community sensitization do the trick?
Absolutely. So, my thinking, in addition to what you've just said, that sensibilization, who is going to lead it? Perhaps if it's led by the NCCE, for example, to create that sort of awareness, it might be a good thing to go, and perhaps even get doctors on board, because I think when doctors speak, people listen. So if we had doctors leading that charge of sensitizing people that listen, this is existential, perhaps we might be able to make some progress in that. So yes, it's well to go, and I'm sure that, or way to go if you like, and I'm sure that as much as we have our work cut out as a government, I think that this fight will take all of us as a country.
I wanted to tie in the bit with the forest,
yes,
as well, and the communication coming in from the minister Asa yesterday that cabinet had directed the immediate revocation of Executive Instrument 144, paving the way for the full restoration of the Achimota forest to its original legal status as a forest reserve. We know what has happened in the past concerning the same expanse of land, and how it strangely found its way into an individual's will, and how now we even hear that a family claims they have, title deed, land documentation on this, and intend to battling governments, whatever it is. How important is it for not just the current administration, but for all of us, with respect to the restoration of this particular forest?
Look,
if you can get closer to the mic for me.
Yeah, we say that the Amazon is the green lungs of the world. Achimota Forest is the green lungs of Accra, obviously. And for any government to have desecrated it, balkanized it with LI 144 in 2008, just beggars belief. Okay, so getting this forest back just says that, look, we as a country would protect our heritage, whatever it takes. And for me, what it says is we are leaving a green legacy for not just you and I, but for our children and our children's children. Because the moment we concrete, Accra is not known for forest. The moment we concretize over the Achimota forest, that is the end of the green space we have. That will be the end of the green lands that government, the people of Ghana actually have, or Accra in particular actually have. So I think that is a step in the right direction. It reverses the claim that national property, national heritage can simply be taken and willed to descendants, willed to family members. And so yes, I think that's a green legacy, and I can only thank government. I cannot thank government enough for taking that bold step, even though this matter is still in court. The Owu family are claiming ownership of that land. My research tells me that there were parcels of land bought by the colonial authorities in 1921 and 1927. The one for 1921 I hear was paid for, but the one for 1927 was not paid for. And that is a matter the Owu family are prosecuting at the moment. And so President Kufuor in 2008 gave 90 acres of peripheral land to them, but I think that didn't placate them enough, which will be the reason why they're probably in court. Yeah, that, okay. Yes, it also speaks to climate leadership by President Mahama in the fight against climate warming and global warming, if you like. Climate destruction, global warming, if you like.
Okay, let me take a few more messages and then we'll continue with the conversation. Okay. Obama simply says the NDC weaponization of state security and corruption institutions would haunt them in the near future. The earlier they released that this doesn't help, the better for all of us. And you are tomorrow is pregnant. Okay, thank you very much. Tony Walanyo in Lashibi, you say, okay, I'm not too sure I defended anybody. Tony, I posed the questions to our guest in the studio. You say, if we don't deal with these issues, we will not go anywhere in solving this problem. Okay, I'm not sure I said anything to defend anything that somebody said, but I respect your opinion. Thank you very much. This one is coming from Mystic Wonder. Okay, you see, can we just focus on this? You say that Apenyo Markins led micro minority should spare our ears. You say the of the cacophony and avail themselves with respect to all of this. Okay, so let me go back to the phone lines again. We're hoping to speak to Darrell earlier on. I understand that we have him on the line now. He's the Deputy Director for Arocha, Ghana. Darrell, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yes. I believe you are great.
We're doing well. There are two things I want us to discuss this morning. The bit to do with the forest, and then the bit to do with what the minister said about Galamsey. If you don't mind, we'll start with the Galamsey issues. We are every now and then raising questions about how we are fighting this and how we're dealing with the problems. When we consistently hear of these arrests, this seizure of guns, this seizure of excavators, for many it does appear that even if we are fighting this, it's not really enough. From where you sit and from information available to you, are we doing enough to deal with this threat, honestly?
I think good question. I must say that yes, you have really reflected on the challenges we are facing. The Galamsey fight, as we claim we are on now, is not going as well as it's expected. And I say this because there is still a lot of issues with enforcement and compliance that is not being deployed effectively and proactively. If you look at all the instances of issues talk about the Lake Bosunji area, talk about the Eastern region, Enyinem, Osino, talk about Konongo and all of these places, Asankreba and all of these places, and even in the Western region, where day in and day out, communities are struggling to keep miners out of their land, and the police are still in most of these areas just close by, but watching on. The only time you see them engage is when NIMOS comes around or when there's actually conflict between the community and the miners. But otherwise, in terms of being proactive and saying, look, let's deal with this matter, let's prevent the movement of excavators, let's prevent the fabrication of trommels and all of these things, it's not happening. So I think we've not been very proactive. Our efforts have been very ad hoc, and NIMOS is not sufficiently to be able to deal with all that we are saying. Our river bodies are still polluted. And there was a point that the minister also raised that impunity is at its low since they started. That is not true. I mean, if you recall the incident that happened on Saturday in Chile, where NIMOS went to an area to do enforcement, and the committee at the master said, no, you can come in and do whatever you want. Then the altercation that ensued, that saw a young man being shot in the leg and all of that, tells you of the existence of lawlessness and entitlement among these miners. Yes, the minister did also say that there are no red zones in our forest reserves. There are no red zones, but a lot of our forest reserves, the miners are busily encroaching viciously. Nothing is being done about it. I think that the efforts you see, all of these optics where arrests are made and all of that, but there are procedures that do not follow through, and therefore nobody sees some deterrent measures in place so that people, when you arrest them, they know by all means they will be freed. So they will get arrested, they will be freed, and they'll go back to the pits. I know the frustration of the Forestry Commission, particularly arresting people in forest reserves, and then when it comes to prosecution, it becomes their headache because
the prosecution takes so long, adjournment upon adjournment, and visits to the police, many times nothing gets done. And these people, while there's adjournment, these people are free. And then some of them go back to the pit. So I think that we are all over doing things, but it is not proactive, it is too ad hoc, it is not intelligence-led. Because I think we have still not been able to take control of all the financiers, all the fabricators, and that is why we still have equipment moving. We still have the police sitting in certain places and mining still going on. And I think that it will be doing ourselves a disservice to keep saying that we are doing well. I think when it comes to the fight, we are not. We are really struggling because impunity still continues and the lawlessness is still very rife in most of the communities.
Are we battling this because of who is allegedly involved, like you just mentioned?
I think that has been the situation now. I mean, we were thinking that this government would treat this with all sense of the urgency and attack this without fear or favor. But as we have seen in our political dispensation, when we are addressing issues like this that are very critical public interest and also of national interest, we tend to align with party folks and do not implement the law as we should. And that's why we've seen situations where communities are complaining that even some districts where sometimes you don't really see the role of the chief executives in these areas, you don't see them clearly either supporting or not supporting, and they are just there and things are continuing. And we have also seen many cases where constituency chairpersons have been appointed, alleged to be leading some of these activities on the ground. So I think that's just like what the MPs were doing, where if you are a member or if you are within the party ranks or fraternity, you get to do what you want. The same thing is happening now. The president himself did acknowledge that my own people are doing that I'm saying. And I think that is why we have not seen them really deploy very strong force against them. And if you go back to the incident on Saturday in Chedi, the miners were complaining about selective enforcement of the law, where you see an enforcement team in the landscape, but others will be allowed to work while they operate somewhere else. And that, for me, is quite not the right way to do it. But as long as these incidents continue, lawlessness will continue, and impunity will not go away.
If leadership is looking on uninterested and allowing this to go on, then with respect to all that we've done so far, are we not just throwing money at the problem?
I mean, I think that one, we all know that the way we are fighting Galamsey, the fact that we are not achieving results, is just we wasting resources. I mean, just look at the over 2,000 forest guards that have been employed as a result of that. When all they need to do is what? See something, say something. That is something community members have been doing for a long time. Communities see people mining in their village, they complain, but nobody responds to them. And then when communities get angry because their water body is being destroyed, or because their lands are being destroyed, and they burn excavators, then that is when you see the police come to the community. So I think that is a big waste of resources. We are not being very efficient with approach and strategy, and we have the solutions at hand. The intelligence services can tell us all the machine, whose machine is working in a particular location. They have all the information. They know who is funding Galamsey. They know who is buying the illegal goods, but nobody is going after these people. That means that there's some sort of complicity of the state not to succeed in themselves. And so to continue to waste money, that's what being used for other important things. We have not been spoken about the harm that is being done to the environment, which will have billions of Ghana to restore. The minister said in his statement that, they are trying to do restoration in parts of the country, of the private sector supporting. For me, it's just a tip of the iceberg. The menace and the destruction is so huge that I don't think our current economic standing can allow us to even start to invest in this. So it has to be gradual, and this is where we need to get even the miners to start paying you for all of these damage. But I think it's a big, huge opportunity loss, and I think already
we also wasting too much money by not being very efficient. I mean, they said that within a week, this issue they have dealt with, and that is very true. Any serious government who really wants to deal with Galamsey, you've had sufficient time. You are in opposition. You use Galamsey to campaign. You shall deploy a strategy. It hasn't happened. You came to power. You are still kind of now thinking about what to do. And that is why I think we see all of these ad hoc interventions everywhere, but not a very coordinated, proactive action by the government machinery to deal with it.
What about sanctioning regimes being meted out to maybe key officials in the line of their work? So, for example, that MC of a particular area who is not performing, that regional minister who is in charge of RECSEC who is not performing, that chief who is allowing that to happen on his land, and his paramount chief would get rid of him, something like that. Are those things appearing to be working? Or should it be something we should consider?
I think that has not happened yet. I mean, and the president didn't talk about accountability on the part of chief executive for the MMDAs and all of that. That has not happened. We are also very much aware of the complicity of some chiefs in aiding Galamsey. We don't see any action to really bring them to book. So really, people, the opinion leaders, the politicians who are interfering in the work of technical institutions are going scot-free, and nobody is making them accountable for their involvement in Galamsey, even though as 995 was passed to really check this. So I think that is a big lapse on our part in not ensuring the full implementation of all the relevant laws that would have allowed us to deal with Galamsey.
Should we throw the military in there?
We already have the military in there, my brother. There is NAMOS already there. There is immigration already there. There is the police already there.
On a larger scale, I mean.
No, I don't think that is necessary. I think it's an issue of governance and leadership. You see, governance and leadership. I think what the government have done, like you said, that if you don't deliver, if you don't show proof that you deliver and we don't see changes, you are fired. So far, he has failed to utilize that particular provision he himself said he would. And that, for me, is why the treaty continues and nobody is really taking the fight seriously.
Let's briefly look at the Achimota forest situation as well, and what the minister told us yesterday. We've been going back and forth with this for a while.
Oh yes, I think yesterday, of all the things that the honorable minister said, we really do commend him and also the government for the bold step. I say bold step because, my brother, look, if the government passes an EI to the gazette portions of the forest reserve, and people have interest and they show interest and already start knocking on the doors of Forestry Commission, give us what is due us because the EI says so. And this government said, no, I know all the pressure, I know the interest, but I'm going to revert it back for today and future generations. It's a bold step that we must all commend. And to that extent, I think the government has done really well, and they deserve every appreciation that we are giving them. And I think for me, what is important here is that, look, the government is demonstrating to us that and they are really committed in a way to protecting Achimota forest. We know how in 2022, the EI 144 sought to put portions of it or convert portions of it for other development other than the forest purpose that it was serving. And we saw all the agitations from the whole family, even somebody putting Achimota forest some parts in their will and all of that. And then also we saw how CSOs actively mobilized, advocated, and told out the government that, look, this is not a judicious decision to take. Also being mindful of the fact that Accra is practically left with just the Achimota forest as the olive green belt. So really taking that bold step to a large extent also speak to somewhat an interest of the government to really protect forest. And this is why we say that, look, let that extend. And I'm also really, while saying this, also mindful and also recognizing the bold step also they took in revoking LI 462. But you see, now that we have revoked LI 462, now that we say Achimota forest is not going to resort to its entire size, it is about time we really pay attention to protect it indeed.
we have the laws. Now we must see enforcement, we must see compliance, and we must see this forest regenerate and really become a viable, functional forest. And this is what we want to see. It's good, a very good decision, but now I think then it puts the onus or the responsibility on the Forestry Commission to take up now the next steps of restoring the degraded areas and using innovation to really turn around the functions of this particular forest. And that is what I think we all need to support going forward.
Daryl, we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thank you as well.
So that was Daryl Bosu, who is a deputy director for Arocha Ghana. We're having a conversation on these environmental related issues, but we want to wrap up with the issues of SIM re-registration. Doc is still here with us, and we understand that yesterday the minority walked out even in that regard. Doc, we are tired of re-registering our SIM. We are tired.
Maybe let's just look at why there's a need to re-register SIMs, and then we can sort of take the conversation.
Should we do it 100 times in
No,
our
we're
lifetime?
not saying so. If the protocols we have put in place do happen, there's a few things to do. Look, first of all, the registration was not properly done. It was not biometric. All right. You had your biodata attached to your NI card, but it was not biometric in terms of fingerprints and in terms of facial identities. And this is what this might be seeking to do, or this will be seeking to do. Look, it's the data as we have at the moment is compromised to the point where the Minister for Communication, the Honorable Sam Jordanate, thinks it is just, it's a valid data, if you like, mainly because of that biometric problem. The second one is the fact that what this has allowed us to do is to have what we call fraudulent pre-registration, because all you required at the time with the previous registration was you simply needed your biodata to register. So some, unscrupulous vendors were able to register multiple, sometimes in batches of hundreds, using your data or my data. And what they then did was to sell this and to use it to do whatever they want without you actually knowing that this is the case. Then we are also told there's data infiltration in terms of the bulk of the data that is being held by the networks, that we are not too sure, the arrangements that went into keeping that data. So that data is a national security threat as we speak at the moment. So Kwame, what is this new registration seeking to do? It is seeking to link your registration with your biometric data. What that therefore means is that no one, absolutely no one, can impersonate you. No one can use your data to register a SIM card. And therefore, if we can do that, by extension, we'll be able to combat mobile money fraud. Okay. Another thing this is going to do is the fact that it will be able to what we call strict device appliance or compliance. So we'll be able to tell what device you are actually using. And so in terms of local fraud and in terms of international tracking, we will be able to track that. And that therefore means that we'll be able to prevent and eliminate SIM box fraud. So Kwame, this is a good thing. And you might ask, but what is in this for us? What is in this for the government? Look, there are no longer queues. There will be no queues whatsoever. Kwame, are you aware you'll be able to
do it from the comfort of your home?
From the comfort of your home, from the comfort of your mobile phone, you'll be able to do that. We are aware that, some, older generations might not be able to do that. And for that sake, there will be mobile, the networks will have mobile rolling registration centers that you can actually go and get your registration done. In addition to that, the networks will have what we call online sort of bookings for people to be able to register. You do not have to absolutely queue. In addition to that, it will be zero cost. All right? The networks have agreed to be able to take the cost on this. And so what the minority did is there was what we call political theater. There was nothing there. What they wanted to do was engage in an activity that was going nowhere, an activity that actually borders on preventing us from taking actions and measures to protect national security. We in the NDC, or this government, if you like, is sworn to protect national security. And like I've said, data is not being properly kept. As we speak now, there are fraudulent registrations of people's ID cards and data. We don't want that. We want to be able to do this. And what they did was obstructionism as well. All right. We can have what we call debates over procedure. But when you have a debate over national security, when you have a debate over SIM registration, what you are doing is shutting down the debate for national security. And for that, I thought they didn't do very well for us. people elect us to go, our constituents elect us to go to elect them to go to parliament to be able to represent us. And debate and representation is done in parliament. It's not done in empty seats. And so therefore, I fault them for doing that. And of course, I praise the speaker for taking the stance he took, because all they were doing was filibustering. And therefore, it was proper that, the speaker put his feet on the floor, or put his foot on the floor and got it done. So yes, they can walk out if they want. That represent them. Is it not interesting, Kwame, that the party that had digitalization as their mantra during the election are suddenly afraid to have registration done and done properly?
Okay. Davisana comes in and says, Kwame, the reason some people are against the SIM re-registration is that they use their existing SIM cards to commit crimes, including money laundering and making payments for properties they have bought and paid for using aliases. Okay, maybe, just maybe, this whole process will deal with all of that.